Okay, is it happening? Is it working? Are we alive? Has technology finally decided to be a little friendly to me? Oh, I hope so. Oh, we are alive. That is good news. My God, man. What an ordeal. Always is, I guess, for the IRL streams, but man, today especially was just like, universe definitely felt like it was conspiring against me to a large extent. But I see we have technology doing the thing. Very exciting. All right. Well, that's neat. Now we can actually start doing the part that's actually fun and not the stressful part. Oh, let me get the shit out of here. All right. Ay, 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 ay. Hello, chat. Oh, it's been quite the ordeal getting this entire thing set up right here. I'm thankful that we have, but my God, man, I try the brightness on this shit. I was planning on starting the stream about 50 minutes ago, and then I spent like all day yesterday kind of like tirelessly preparing for this so that way everything would be ready to go for this morning, so that way I could just like wake up, immediately ship out all the stuff like out to here, so that way I'd just be good to go, give myself plenty of a buffer of time. And so I get here like an hour beforehand, like, okay, cool, exactly how I timed it, awesome. Walk on over to the this little spot right here, which you might recognize. I'll get into that in a second, but we walk over to this little spot right here, and I realize as I'm getting everything set up, shit, I forgot like one of the main food ingredients that we're using today. And I was like, well, it's impossible to do the stream without it, so I guess I gotta, pack up the stuff again. All right, and walk back to my car, drive all the way back to my place. Thankfully, this area right here is not that far away from where I live. It's like a 15-minute drive, less than that, probably 10-minute drive. So I drove all the way back. Okay, got the food ingredients that I forgot. All right, came all back here, took the stuff back out here, set everything up, had Joel set up, had the laptop set up, had like everything ready to go. It was literally just be like, okay, I'm ready to press the live button. And then I realized the receiver for my microphone that I use was still at home because I'd still left it plugged into my computer from the pumpkin carving stream. So I was like, fuck. And so which that meant that I had to repack up everything again, go back to my car, drive all the way back, get that, take all the stuff back out here, put it all out and set it all up. And now we're out here. So yeah, that was the whole thing. That was a whole ordeal. So I apologize for being late. I even gave myself a little buffer time knowing I might fuck up and I need to have more time. And even I exceeded even past that, but oh well, whatever. Now we just got to make sure that we don't go over time, because if we do, then it'll get dark and that's no bueno. All right, why is my chat here not showing? Hold on. I see you on one screen. Let's see here. Why is this not working? All right, let me do a little test to see if I can see myself chatting here. I can literally just do chatting. Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay, cool. Can I touch the ground to prove it? Wow, there you go. Okay, confirmed and not a green screen. Now, for those savvy chatters, you might realize that this is not the first time we've ever been to this location right here. We have been here before. In fact, it was earlier this year for kind of what you might almost call like the beginning of the outdoor season. We were here for Memorial Day. Wait, no. We were here for Cinco de Mayo. That's what it was. So back in early May, like in the spring, we were here. And we did the, what did we cook? Oh yeah, we cooked fish tacos on the Riviera, right? So now we're not in the Riviera, but it is the same river. So now we're just, I don't know, in the comfy autumn setting here. Now, I'll be honest, I was really hoping it'd be a bit more like, fall colory here at this point. And it is in my area, generally speaking, pretty fall colorish at this point. But this area is still like kind of exceedingly green. You can see like kind of like the yellow above my head here. But I'll be honest, I was hoping it would be a little bit more like autumn Wonderland-ish. But what can you do? I can't control the colors of the leaves. It's been way too hot outside, so like the leaves have been taking forever to change color, and this was like realistically the last day of like the entire season that I had free, where I didn't have any raids, I didn't have any vacations, I didn't have any other plans, where it's just like, okay, today I could do it. Because like the next time I'd be able to do this would be in like 2 weeks, and then I think all the leaves would be gone, so like that'd be dumb. So, we're gonna do some cooking out here because streamers earned hopefully is a little tasty meal after quite the ordeal this morning. Last time I was there, there was annoying kids. Yeah, it's funny how that happens when it comes to my outdoor streams. There's always annoying kids. No kids in sight. In fact, there's one person that's over there. He's kind of fishing, but hopefully he kind of just stays to his own little side, and I'll do my own thing over here, and we won't bother each other, and it'll be fine. What's up, Biggie Numbers coming in hot with the tier 1 sub now for 46 months. Oh shit, need to stay warm. It is not cold out here in the slightest. In fact, it's really depressingly warm outside. It's literally supposed to get into the 80s today. It's supposed to be a high of like 81, I think, which like late October, what the hell? I mean, I guess it's pleasant enough for cooking, but like the problem is that I was originally going to wear like a sport jacket for this and like dress up all fancy and call it fancy pumpkin cooking. You'll see why once you see what we're making today, but like I realized like it'd be too hot to wear a sport jacket out here, so I was like, all right, I'll just stick to the dress shirt and call that good enough. Because yeah, it's way too hot out here. Like I could comfortably sit outside in a t-shirt and shorts right now, and in fact, this is probably like overkill to the point where I'm going to get too warm. Very silly, very silly. Fix the temperature, weather boy, dude. I mean, this entire fall just hasn't really happened at all yet. It makes me very sad. It makes me very, very sad. Need to see a 360 view? Sure, I can do that for you. So we're just in a little park. In fact, it's the same park where I slept in the cardboard box. It's just that we're in the kind of woodsy trail part of the park and not the picnic shelter and baseball field part of the park. But regardless, it is the same sort of park that we're just chilling here. Yeah, there's a little creek that runs through it right there. That's the Riviera that we had last time. And this is like where the little path leads that goes up to my car up there. So that's how I got over here. But yeah, no annoying children this time. They weren't annoying last time. They were just, curious, which, like, fair. Based on what I'm doing out here, it is a little odd. I would probably question it as well. But anyways, you can see, got the nice little comfy autumn aesthetic going here. Still, like I said, a little greener than I would have expected. But a lot of the trees out here are, like, vibrant orange and red and yellows. And I was kind of hoping to see more of that out here, but what can you do? What can you do? That's okay. It's still comfy out here. It's still going to make for, I think, some comfy, cozy cooking, so I can't really complain. Whatever, dude. And the weather, as warm as it is, which I'm not a fan of in the middle of the autumn, at the very least is pretty nice for cooking. All right. Can it not be like super glary though? I'd appreciate that. Sun, can you not? The sun is very bright and shiny today, that is for sure. All right. That'll do, that'll do. Aesthetic. Okay. Who asked for the 360? Ban them? What do you mean? What? That was nice. Oh, did the stream die for a second? Sorry. All right, well. All right, no more 360s for you, I guess. Fair enough. Oh. Okay, well, no more moving the camera, apparently. Fine, so be it. Anyways, so yeah, let's get started on the cooking, shall we? So, what are we cooking today? Well, I figured last year we did the comfy pumpkin cooking stream. We did pumpkin chili last year. We did start from scratch, where we started from like the actual pumpkins, took shadow mold and split them in half, and then we baked them over charcoal, and we made ourselves some pumpkin spice lattes. That was the whole thing. And we ultimately then made that pumpkin into puree, which we then put into chili, and we made chili over a little cast iron pot over charcoal. It was very comfy. The stream reception didn't work out there, so I had to pre-record that one. Thankfully, this one was very much live. And so I figured, okay, we should continue like the comfy pumpkin autumn tradition, right? So I was actually asking chat for suggestions as to what to make a few weeks ago, and somebody, I can't remember who, but somebody came up with the idea of doing pumpkin risotto. And among other ideas, I looked into them, and I saw that when I looked up for recipes for that. I was like, damn, pumpkin risotto would it sounds delicious, and B, I think would be pretty doable out here in the comfy outdoor setting that we got here, right? So we're gonna be making some fancy pumpkin risotto, or just, I don't know if it's fancy, but pumpkin risotto. I call risotto just by default sort of fancy, right? Sure. And we are also going to be making some like pumpkin, well, originally my thought was like, okay, risotto, so it's like Italian, so I'll go with like pumpkin garlic bread. Ultimately, I look into recipes, and it turns out pumpkin garlic bread, not really a thing, so what we're actually going to do is we're going to make some pumpkin butter, toast some bread, and spread the pumpkin butter over the bread. So we'll call it our pumpkin garlic bread, just without the garlic, whatever. And yeah, hopefully we can do that before it gets dark, because if it gets dark here, it's going to be kind of a problem. But anyways, instead of yapping, why don't we get started on that? So we're going to start off with the pumpkin butter. So let's get all the stuff we're going to need for that. So let me put the recipe that we're going to use in chat here. It's listed as 20-minute pumpkin butter by on minimalistbaker.com. Sure, okay. Why not? So let's get out what we're going to need for this. Got our entire little box of goodies in here, as we always do. So we're gonna need a saucepan, which is looking nice and crusty. That's an old ass saucepan we got at this point, but hey, it still works. And then let's get on the ingredients as well. Okay. Cooking risotto takes skill to make. This will be a true test of my cooking skills. I'll be fine, dude. Look, I've got all my kitchen aesthetic here. Got all my kitchen tools. Only one burner. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't know. How hard can it be, right? Just follow the instructions. Okay. Anyways, so we're gonna need brown sugar. Ideally it says muscovado sugar. I didn't have that, so I was like, well, you can substitute brown sugar if you want. So I was like, oh, cool, I'm gonna do that. Perfect. Put it in here somewhere. There we go. So, brown sugar, already pre-measured for my convenience. Pumpkin pie mix or pumpkin pie spice. Boom. Salt. Cinnamon. Okay, we're gonna need lemon juice, so I got a lemon in here somewhere. I really should probably organize these bags based on the recipes, but I didn't do that. Whatever. There's a lemon. Cool. A half cup of unsweetened apple juice. So I was thinking at the time, how the hell do I just bring a small thing of apple juice? But eventually I thought, like, oh yeah, I guess I could just buy one of those little like juice things that they'd give kids. So, boom. And then we need a quarter cup of maple syrup. So we got a nice little fancy glass bottle that looks like a whiskey thing, but is actually just maple syrup right there. And okay, and then last but not least, since this is in fact pumpkin butter, obviously we need pumpkin, right? So I could have just taken the easy way out and bought pumpkin puree at the store because that's obviously how the vast majority of people would acquire their pumpkin puree. But I was like, you know what? No, I'm an experienced pumpkin chef at this point. Okay, so even if I didn't stream this part, I went out of my way to buy a couple of sugar pumpkins from the store, like actual pumpkins, right? Little mini ones. And I baked them up last night, and after they were done baking, peeled off the skin and pureed them up or mashed them up into nice little pumpkin goo, whatever you want to call it. And we got ourselves some fresh, homemade pumpkin puree. Oh, shit. Now, you might wonder, is it worth making fresh pumpkin puree? And all the online recipes usually say, like, nah, you don't really need to. Just make the regular, just use the regular canned stuff. It works fine. Get the Libby's brand. Oh, that's the best one. And, like, I've done both. Actually, in the most recent month or so, I made a couple of pumpkin dishes. And I made one with, just out of curiosity, I baked a pumpkin and I made my own puree. And then I just also bought the store-bought puree. I gotta say, homemade's definitely better. The recipe sites are lying. Now, is the canned puree bad? No, it's fine, but like, homemade's definitely better, so we're gonna use homemade. Because if you're gonna go all out and make something fancy, right, you might as well like go all out and make something fancy with like all the fresh ingredients, right? No black pepper? Well, not for this, but I have black pepper for the later recipe. Don't worry about that. Is that a beaver behind me? What? Or a beaver dam? I doubt it. Can't say there's probably too many beavers around here. Okay, so all we're supposed to do is we're going to add all these ingredients to a large saucepan over medium-high heat and stir to combine. Once bubbling begins, reduce heat to low and simmer. You're looking for a frequent bubble so there isn't too much going on. Increase heat. Okay. So literally all we have to do is just toss everything into here and then let it simmer. So let's start by doing that, I guess. I need to get out some utensils. Where's my utensil bag in here? Somewhere in here. There it is. Okay, might as well get my knife out as well. That's not a knife. This is a knife. All right. So we're gonna want a little wooden spatula for stirring there. A little spoon for spooning this out. Okay. Okay. So let's start by just literally spooning this stuff in here. I can't imagine the pumpkin butter portion of this recipe is going to be difficult. This part's kind of like the soft toss, right? Whereas like the full-on regular major league pitching is going to be the risotto. I'm looking forward to at least trying to make the risotto. In a perfect world, yeah, I would definitely be making risotto for the first time in my kitchen because, like you said, like Mueller said, it's already kind of a complicated enough dish, and it's something that ideally you should have like multiple stove burners for, but what fun is trying to like cook a new dish for the first time in the comfort of your own kitchen? Might as well just try to do it outside and the great outdoors, right? Let me show you my fancy pumpkin puree here. Oh yeah, nice and goopy. definitely more stringy, I guess, than you can say regular like store-bought pumpkin purees. But once you cook it, like that aesthetic kind of disappears and that texture disappears. So it's all Gucci. All right. Anyways, so this recipe calls for 2 full cans of pumpkin puree. Now, I was smart enough, thankfully, to measure out 2 cans in advance. So, like, basically each one of these little Tupperware jar or Tupperware containers represents 1 can of pumpkin puree. And I'm starting to realize that, like, this is going to be way too much because I'm already, like, looking at, like, 1 pumpkin puree's worth of pumpkin butter. And I'm already realizing, like, that's already way more than I'm going to need. But, oh, well, I'll have spare pumpkin butter, I guess. I don't know. Maybe give it to friends or something. Surely somebody will want that, right? Yeah, this is a lot. I mean, I could just pivot and just make a half recipe right now, if I wanted to, but, well, man, I'm just worried about potential spillage for obvious reasons. Let's see. Well, the saucepan's like this filled. I don't know how well you can see that. We're just gonna go for it. Whatever, dude. Fuck it. You made risotto with just 1 burner. It works, just takes a little longer. Yeah, I've got a plan in mind for how I'm going to do this, and hopefully it'll get the job done. I'm going to try this pumpkin puree. It's tasty. Good job, streamer. Okay, anyways, I guess, number 1, this will reduce down, like, unironically, this will reduce, and number 2, I guess if it's, like, bubbling and, like, we get a little spillage, like, all right, well, it's going to go on the ground. Oh, no. Oh, okay, fine, whatever. Yeah, we're going to just go with this. So anyways, we need 2/3 of a cup of coconut sugar or muscovado sugar. I have neither, so it said, or some organic brown sugar. Is this organic? Definitely not, but it's brown sugar. It's tasty, so I'm not too worried about it. If it falls to the ground POV, we'll be... Wait, if it falls to the ground POV, we'll be used to it. Okay, come on. In my defense, I survived yesterday's Nax, right? In fact, I survived, what? 4 Naxes in a row now on my warriors, so fuck off. Is the curse broken? I don't know. I feel like it's a little too early to say that. But I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Okay, whatever. All right. 4th cup of maple syrup. Now, I don't really think I'm going to bother trying to measure this. I think I'll just kind of eyeball it. We have the Spring Tree maple syrup, 100% pure, grade A amber color, rich taste. And it looks like whiskey. It does not taste like whiskey. It tastes like maple syrup, but good nonetheless. All right, you know what? I think I actually... Nah, I'm not going to measure this. Whatever, fuck it. What's a 1/4 cup? Like that? Sure. Yeah. All right. All right. I think we're back. I think we're good. I really, really, really hope this is not a sign of things to come, because that was really strange, and I was kind of talking about, I guess while you guys could no longer hear me, that this place that I've streamed from before has never had any issues at all getting decent cell phone connection. It's always been immaculate every single time. So I find it odd that all of a sudden, like, this is happening, and I find it odd that the spot that I've already used before is all of a sudden, like, seemingly kind of shitting the bed. Well, I really hope it's not a sign of things to come. Chat, let me know if everything's working, please. Let me know if you can actually see me and or, well, if you can hear me, and I guess about to see me. Oh, are we back? Can someone confirm? Let's see here. Guess I'll type in chat, question mark. We back? Can't send any messages. That seems like a bad sign. Maybe refresh chat. I guess I could pre-record this if I have to. I'd really rather do it live, though. Otherwise, why am I out here? Come on, man. Okay. No, I think chat refreshed. I don't know. For some reason, my connection seems like it's on life support. All right, I think at least one of my chat works now. Okay. Let me get it working on here in a second, or for a second. Just seems like it's really slow. I don't know. So anyways, I was saying before yeah, I mean, maybe you heard this already, but I was saying that this area right here has always been perfect connection-wise, and it always blows my mind when technology just like, it just proves that I don't really know how it works. Like a spot that you think works fine and has worked fine many times before, just like you'll come to it one day and just doesn't work anymore, and you're just like, what? Like, what happened? I don't get it. Okay, well, it's kind of weird right now because it feels like my computer's having a hard time connecting to chat, so I can't tell if it's working or not. Oh, let me see on my phone screen. Oh, I don't have. We're a little tight on time schedule at this point. All right, need one more. Good now. Okay, I hope it stays that way, man. Hope it stays that way because I can't deal with a constantly disconnecting stream. That ain't gonna happen. All right, chat. I'm gonna need you to catch me up at that point, or at this point. What was the last thing you saw? What was the last thing that I did before I disconnected there, so that way I can continue from where we left off? Meantime, I will get a cutting board out because we are gonna need this here very soon. Okay. Drank maple syrup. Okay. Well, all right, what did I do since then? Well, let's see. I drank maple syrup, and then I added the maple syrup. Poured a little quarter cup in there that I approximated the quarter cup. I didn't actually measure the quarter cup. Did that, and then I got some unsweetened apple juice that I was kind of struggling to figure out, like, well, what am I going to, how am I going to transport just a small little portion of apple juice out here? And then I realized, like, oh, I guess I could just buy those small little juice bottles that they'll sell so that way kids can take it to their school lunch or whatever. So we just got one of these little small ones. I poured that in there. That was a half cup. Very cool. And now we got to add lemon juice to this concoction here. So that's the point we got to. Now I'm just going to slice up a lemon and add some lemon juice. Okay. Nice thing is I got my sink right here, a nice little unlimited supply of water. Now, not exactly a type of water that you want to be drinking, but certainly a type of water you can use to clean stuff and soak paper towels and whatever. So that's good news. Okay. Unsweetened apple juice. Apple juice is like pure sugar. Well, like when it says unsweetened, it means like no additional sugar added. Now, I don't really think that's a very common thing anyways. I mean, I guess apple cider probably has sugar added if I had to guess, but whatever. Wanted unsweetened apple juice. That's what it says in the recipe, so I made sure I got something that said no sugar added. Whatever, dude. All right. Cooking stream time. Yes, sir. Put some syrup on my feet. That's going to be a bonk for me, dog. Settle down. All right, time to release our giant knife in this public park here. I have no intentions of murdering anybody. Unless someone decides to piss me off. Oh, come on. Like I said, okay, yeah. No intentions to murder anyone. Yeah. That right there, I guess. Okay. Definitely noticing I'm going to have to take a piss break pretty soon here, and I think we might just have to use nature's restroom. All right, so this recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. I would imagine that half a lemon's worth of juice is probably going to get the job done just fine here. Do I have a job or am I a full-time streamer? I am full-time streaming, so make sure to like and subscribe unless you want to see me living under a bridge tomorrow. Or like and subscribe unless you want to see me living out here full-time tomorrow. Okay, put that back in. I don't need to pay rent, as you can see where I live right now. True, dude. Yeah. Just don't tell the cops that I'm out here, and then it'll be fine. No one needs to know that I'm living out on my little mini island out here. All right, so we gotta probably just strain this lemon juice through the fingers, so that way we don't get any sort of seeds in here. Oi, come on. Just happen to pick the lemon with the world's largest quantity of seeds, I guess. There's a shitload here. but we are getting a decent supply of juice into there. Is that a tablespoon's worth? I don't know, but we're going to call it close enough. Hoi, come on. All right, last little bit. Oi, oi. Okay. We're calling that good enough. Hoi. Oh. Well, there it is. It's that easy. Brodom's 360 coming in hot with the Prime sub. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Your sub will go directly to the Hot Pockets of Doritos and Not Living Here Tomorrow Fund. Appreciate you, dude. Yeah, also, yeah, I like it the way. Do you have a job or do you only just stream? All right. So we added the lemon juice. Cool. Now we have to add a 2.5 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. Where did I put my stuff? Here it is. Okay, so 2.5 teaspoons. Okay. Just so happens I bought some pumpkin pie spice last year for something. I don't even know what I made using this. It wasn't actually pumpkin pie, hilariously, but it was something. So let's add half a teaspoon right here. So let's go ahead and add 1 teaspoons, right? Yeah. And Sarah Sizzle also coming in hot with the Prime sub. Well, thank you. Well, thank you. That sub will also go directly to the Hot Pockets Doritos, and I swear I'm cooking outdoors for fun and not because I have to fund. Did that sound convincing? Hopefully. All right, there we go. So pumpkin pie. I don't even. Why did I buy pumpkin pie spice last year? What did I make that used pumpkin pie spice? Oh, it was actually probably the pumpkin spice latte, and that's actually probably what it was. All right, half a teaspoon of cinnamon. My pumpkin fanatic. I mean, I think fanatic might be a bit of an exaggeration, but I would definitely say I'm a pumpkin enjoyer. I would say I'm a person who enjoys his basic pumpkin dishes whenever the season arrives. And the season has most certainly arrived, although, well, weather-wise it hasn't, but whatever, the time of year has. And so I peruse in my pumpkin dishes. A pumpkin pie, like who doesn't love pumpkin pie, right? Just any pumpkin thing is usually pretty good. I'm not eating it year-round, but still. All right, and then a pinch of sea salt. Okay. Sea salt. Pinch. Okay, there you go. So, now we got to set up the stove, which is always an adventure outside, isn't it? All right. Little maple syrup for the road. Oh, yeah, that's maple syrup. Okay. Wait, pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice Panda Express pizza one day. All right, so the stove, we gotta get our entire little setup out here. So we got tank of propane. Fresh new tank of propane even. Very exciting. I can never tell when these are like getting close to empty, so I always just kind of have to, I feel like I've wasted a lot of these when they're probably only like half done or even more than that left, but I never know, I never know how much juice they have left, and so because of that I never know if like, I'm always paranoid, like one I've already used before, like, what if I run out? What if it runs out of gas? Then I'm fucked, right? So I've always just had to, like, for the most part, play it safe and buy new ones. Bit of a waste, but what can you do? Wish there was some sort of way to, like, measure how much was left. All right, so we gotta set this up. We might initially start on the table, but I might move it down to the ground once it's just doing its simmering thing, because I don't really want to... Well, we're going to start prepping the ingredients for the risotto once this is going, but I don't want to be cutting on the table and shaking it like hell and shaking this as it's trying to simmer over the stove. All right, get on there, nice and tight. Okay. Now, I think I chose pretty level ground for this, so we should be mostly stable, maybe. All right. Okay, here we go. Could weigh them and compare it to an empty with a bathroom scale. Great. All right, so added all the ingredients, blah, 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 blah. Stir to combine. All right, I guess I do have to kind of stir this first. All right, fair. So it's a very, I don't know, orangish mixture we got going here. Nothing shocking about that, considering the ingredients, I guess. Had a lemon seed in there. All right. How well can you see that? I'm always paranoid about the angle and whether you can see stuff inside of like pots, for example. You can see it fine enough. Okay. Good enough in my book. All right. I guess we just have to get this nice and liquidy and uniform. Nice thing about this old-ass saucepan is I'm not really concerned about scratching it or damaging it because it's old as hell and it's already scratched as hell anyways. Oh, come on. Cooking stream from Elwyn Forest, yeah. Elwyn Forest, but in like the autumn time. That is something I kind of wish about WoW's landscape, is that it'd be cool if it, like, the landscape changed with the season. So for example, like, yeah, take Elwyn Forest or whatever, like maybe in the spring it's nice and bright green, and then like maybe in the fall it would get like the fall colors with like all the yellows and the oranges and the reds and whatever, and then maybe in the winter like the leaves would fall off and maybe you'd get like some snow or something. I always thought that would be sick, but I'm assuming even in modern day retail that's probably not a thing. I get that every zone has like, you can capture the aesthetic of a season, right? If you want like the fall season, I guess you can go to a Jar, and if you want the winter, you can obviously go to like Winter Spring or Dunmorrow or whatever. But wouldn't that be sick if like you entered Elwyn and it was like the first day of fall and like all the leaves had changed colors in the zone? That'd be sick. When they inevitably make WoW 2 and hire me as part of their dev team because I'm something of a modern retail WoW expert, then that'll be my first suggestion. Not to worry, ladies and gentlemen. I got you covered. Okay, there we go. Now we got most of the seasonings done, so that way we can just kind of mix this a bit more thoroughly. Yeah, there's a lot. I definitely don't need anywhere close to this volume of pumpkin butter. Why did I not just choose to make half a recipe? I don't know. What will I do with all of this after I'm done with it? I don't know, but hopefully it'll taste good. Otherwise, it's going to be a giant pot of orange slop that I have nothing to do with. Guess we'll see. Okay. I'd say that's mixed enough to the point where we can definitely just toss this on the stove, and we'll mix it, I'm sure, more once it's on the stove doing its thing, so no need to overcomplicate it. Give it a little taste test just to see how it's tasting. It tastes pumpkin-y, I'll tell you that. One thing I never realized about pumpkin butter is that it doesn't actually have any butter in it. Okay, what the hell even is pumpkin butter? Well, it's about to be this. Hello. All right. Let's get the gas going here. See if the lighter will light so I don't have to get out the matches. There we go, we got it. Then it's producing heat. Excelente. Okay. Whoa, careful, SpongeBob. Don't hit the table getting up. Turns out trying to have a chair, just and a table for that matter, sitting on a bunch of creek rocks is a little sketchy. All right. So put that there, let it start doing its thing. That's another thing I can never really tell about the propane stove here, is it's kind of hard to see what the heat level is and to kind of know like what is high heat or low heat or medium heat. Generally speaking, this thing outputs a shitload of heat to the point where it's a lot hotter than your conventional stove, but it's hard to tell. All right, that being said, I think we're Gucci there. So we'll let that cook. And in the meantime, I gotta take a piss. I'm gonna use nature's restroom out here real quick. I'll leave the mic here to spare you from that, but I'll be right back, Chad. I probably should have done this when the stream was effing, but whatever, dude. Be right back. Enjoy the scenic sounds of I don't know, nature. Okay. Hi. You know what's funny about doing these outdoor streams? Like, especially when I'm in a place where I know I don't have access to, like, a real restroom. I always get paranoid about that, so I decide, like, okay, I'm not going to drink a whole lot of water today and just make sure that I'm not going to have to piss constantly. And then for whatever reason, like, the more I get worried about not having to piss constantly, the more I end up needing to piss. Oh, that being said, we're feeling better. Okay, I lived. Hello. That's where the horror movie starts. Well, I'm the one with the knife in the forest, all right? If anything, like, I'm the one that's about to murder someone. Okay, anyways, I guess for now, ooh, it's already starting to bubble a little bit, so that's good news. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's way too hot, so we're going to turn that down now. But, ooh, that's bubbling quite a bit to the point where a little... Yeah, we're definitely going to want to put this on the ground so that way it can just bubble and do its thing without just sending molten pumpkin butter onto the table. All right, let me go ahead and move this down here now. Wait. Did I find a halfway stable portion of the ground to put this on? This seems fine. Well, not that fine. Okay. How about now? It's kind of, sort of stable. Kind of. Well, can you see this, by the way? Not really. Okay. Well, you sort of can, I guess. Well, is that stable? Debatable, but is it going to be stable enough to just do its thing there off the side while I hopefully just work on stuff on the table? I think so, maybe. This whole concoction here has to reduce down, like basically just get rid of all of its liquid over the next like 20 or 30 minutes or so. So the idea is that we can just let it chill here and just not have to touch it all that much. It's already starting to bubble there on the table. That's the good news. There's not much liquid in this, though. Or at least there's not much... it's not a very liquidy substance. It's already kind of goopy, right? So when it does start bubbling and doing its thing, it's not going to take very long to start kind of getting very... I don't know. Bubbly and molten pumpkin buttery. Anyways, okay. It does taste good, though. I'll give it that. All right, let's say we start working on the actual risotto, shall we? Think it's around that time. Okay. Oh. So, we are going to be making pumpkin risotto because I wanted to do a nice little fun, I guess somewhat fancy follow-up to last year's pumpkin chili. Now, risotto is not something I've ever made before in my life, and it's not just like, well, I've never made pumpkin risotto. Like, I've never made risotto. In fact, I'm not even sure I've ever eaten risotto in my life. I know what it is. It's like an Italian thing with, like, meat in it, and it's got some cheese maybe and some other stuff, and but I don't think I've never really... If I have had risotto, it's not like I remember it vividly, and it's not like I eat it frequently, right? So... I mean, do I even really know what it's supposed to like end up looking like and or tasting like? But we're gonna try it. All right. Risotto's fucking annoying to make. Is it? Nah, I'll be fine. Okay, cool. So, we need to prep a whole bunch of stuff. Let me put the recipe that we're about to use in chat, so that way you guys can follow along. You love it, but it's hella boring to make. Well, the good news is, I'll give you some spoilers. We got some something fun to help pass the time once we're inevitably just sitting here waiting for the risotto to do its thing. Okay. Yeah, so let's start prepping the ingredients. So we're going to need a cup of pumpkin puree, got that. Chicken stock, we got that. Olive oil, yeah. Pound of hot or sweet Italian sausage, I got hot. Pound of sliced mushrooms, we're going to have to slice those. A medium shallot, I didn't have a shallot, so I just got a small onion. Garlic cloves, that I'll just use a little garlic crusher for. Rice, salt and pepper. A cup of dry white wine. Unsalted butter. Parmigiano cheese, parsley, and sage. Okay. No way, the real Jonathan Melendez? Is that someone I should know? I just kind of randomly searched for a pumpkin risotto recipe until I found one that looked good. Sure, yeah, okay. So first things first, let's prep the mushrooms. That's the part that's probably going to take the longest and have the most stuff out of all the prep. Everything else is actually pretty straightforward. The good news about risottos, from what I can tell from this recipe, for the most part, it's just like, I don't know, toss everything in the, well, it's not as simple as toss everything in the pot and let cook, but it's at least like not a whole bunch of like fancy ingredients that you have to prep and take an hour doing that. Mostly just the mushrooms, so. What are you doing there, bud? Kind of just, okay, just, you know, whatever. I guess I should Stir this every once in a while. Let me get a plate out so I can put the... Actually, I'll just get all of my plates out so that way I can put out the... put my spoon on there and put this... Ah, Joel! Oh, Jesus. Joel actually didn't make it to this location last time. Last time we came out to the quote-quote Riviera. So, ugh. Sorry, bud. Trying to make sure he gets a nice scenic view out here today. Alright, yeah, that's definitely doing its thing. It's very lava bubbling to the surface type of look, which is a little terrifying. I guess if I want to stir this, I should probably hold on to the handle, otherwise it's going to get a little wobbly. Yeah, I don't know, this doesn't seem very liquidy. This already seems like it's got the consistency of something that would be kind of done cooking already, so I'm a little worried that like it's so thick already that like ultimately it's going to have a hard time evenly cooking if it's all thick at the top. Like, it's not going to cook at the top if the bottom's cooking just because it's too thick for the heat to transfer, it feels like. But whatever, I'm following the recipe. Have faith, I guess. Okay. Alright, whatever. Okay. And before you start whining at me, don't worry, I did pre-wash these mushrooms before stream started, so I don't have to worry about the dirt on these, in theory. Joel wants to swim in the creek. Joel's not really like an outdoor fish. Just like some cats are outdoor cats and some cats are indoor cats. Joel's an indoor fish, okay? So he's enjoying the view, but he's also not ultra interested in hopping into the creek. All those outdoor fishes. Ugh. Whoa, okay, definitely just dropped that mushroom. It's fine, it's fine. It's 5-second rule, right? It's fine. It'll cook off all the bad stuff anyways once it's in the risotto, right? Of course. Alright, so we need a pound of these, and this is an entire pound thing, so we just have to... Bro, can you fucking not? See, this is what I'm worried about. It's very... I don't even want to move the camera because I'm worried that's going to F the stream again, so... It's just... hopefully you can see this little science experiment going on right now. I'm going to take this off the heat real quick and then maybe turn the heat down, perhaps. That might help. Alright, just don't fucking explode, please. Alright, just don't. Just don't, okay? Just be nice and turn into something delicious and don't burn me and make me go to the hospital, because the hospital is not exactly within a convenient... I mean, it's convenient distance, but it wouldn't exactly be convenient to take myself to the hospital starting from here. Let's put it that way. All right, okay. You guys see what it's doing, right? It's a little sketch. I almost feel like maybe I should like add some water to it, just so that way it'll help the heat transfer, because like eventually the water will boil off anyways, right? So maybe I do that. Feels like that'd make it a lot less sketchy and probably help it cook more evenly as well. All right, come on. Hoi. I'm certainly no pro mushroom cutter. I just kind of YOLO it and just hope that what I'm doing is good enough. Add creek water. I mean, you know, technically whenever you're in a survival situation and you want to drink water, as long as it's like running water, all you have to do is boil it, right? So, I mean, technically if I put the creek water in there, it would be boiling. But that being said, I also have just my own supply of water, like, that I know is fine, so could just do that as well. I turned the heat down a little bit, so let's see if that gets... So far, it's less sketch, so we're going to leave it as is for a bit and see if it decides to play nice. By the way, the cook time on this recipe says the risotto should take, what is it, 15 minutes of prep time, 45 minutes of cook time? Yeah, we'll see about that. The streamer's going to find a way to turn it into a 3-hour marathon, I'm sure. As he's been known to do in the past on cooking streams. Oh yeah, 30-minute recipe? That'll be nice and quick. Quick cooking stream, no big deal, nice and easy, in and out. 3 hours later. Well, we're almost ready to actually put it in the pot now, guys. It's almost ready to start. Yeah. Okay. Heat kills all bacteria? Aren't there some bacteria that like live in volcanoes and shit? I don't know. Like, I think like if you want like a real answer, if you were to add creek water into this, as long as it's like boiling like that, it should in theory be fine. The taste could be a little questionable, but health-wise, in theory, you'd be okay. But that being said, we do live in an area that has plenty of irrigation and plenty of farming and plenty of runoff, so I don't know what the source of this creek is, but I have a sneaking suspicion that the source is probably nothing. It's probably not a mountain spring, you know? So, I'm gonna stick to the water I got out of my fridge. That's okay. The existent volcano area, not a mild creek. Yeah. No, I think bacteria would be, you could kill the bacteria, but I don't think you get rid of like pesticides and shit, right? Like anything like used to kill plants probably is a bit of an issue for the human GI, even if you boil it. I'm no expert, just a hunch. Yeah. Oh, I will say it is rather aesthetic out here. It's way too hot. Not a fan of that. Like the entire time I was thinking of this stream in my mind, I kind of assumed the whole time it was gonna be, oh, it's nice chilly, as in cold chilly, not food chilly. It'd be nice and chilly and warm, and I could wrap myself up in some warm clothes and maybe have a warm drink. Use like the stove as the heat source, and nope. Sure enough, it's late October and it's in the 80s. So, I mean, I'm if anything too warm right now. If anything. Kind of wish I could just wear a t-shirt right now, but that wouldn't really fit the fall aesthetic, right? Get out of here. Thankfully, the pumpkin butter is cooperating a little bit better now, so I think we're Gucci. I don't think we have to add water now. Okay. Yeah, we're like almost halfway done with the mushrooms, I guess. Is it possible to slice mushrooms faster? Yes, it is. Would it be easier if I was in a real kitchen and not out here? Probably. But whatever. Can't really start on the actual risotto anyways till that's finished, so I guess we can take our time. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna probably have difficulties getting this to be like a full pile before it starts to fall over. Guess I could always just pull out another plate if I have to. If I was smart, I would have brought like a bowl to put this all in, but I am not a smart man. Do I own cowboy boots? You know, contrary to popular belief, and I bet this stereotype was even kind of propagated even more by the fact that like I watched like snippets of that F1 race and like the pre-race especially, and I saw that like they literally had like European drivers like going to the local stores like, oh, they're going to cowboy boot stores, and oh yeah, they're gonna shoot some hoops, and like, oh, this whole cowboy aesthetic, and it's like, motherfuckers, you're in Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas isn't exactly what you'd call cowboy land. Like, it's just, I found it funny. Like, we're in Texas, the cowboy place. Even though, like, parts of Texas are what you could describe as the cowboy areas. But I don't know if I'd call Austin, Texas a cowboy area. But anyways, to answer your question, I do not own a pair of cowboy boots because contrary to popular belief, not every American owns a truck and has cowboy boots and has a gun and wears cowboy hats and says yeehaw every day. As cool as that would be, admittedly. Not even every Texan does. Weird, right? I hope this turns out well. I feel like it'd be extra impressive if I pulled off my first ever risotto in these conditions right here. Especially because, especially because I could kind of use a dish to be able to make when I go home. Last year I made the pumpkin chili when I went home and impressed everyone, like, oh wow, you made something really nice. So if I could pull this off and like have this be something that like I'd be willing to make for other people, then I could impress others with my amazing risotto cooking skills. Oh. But I just said yeehaw. Yeah, but like I don't think I've ever heard anybody in my life like living in the US say yeehaw like unironically. I'm not sure is that in anyone's lexicon that lives in the US? I doubt it. I think it's just mostly said as a you know, an ironic thing, right? No dude in Texas is in his truck driving down the street at 100 miles an hour and being like, yeehaw, get the fuck out of my way. I'm here in Texas and I love guns and cowboys and shit. Not really a thing. Then again, I guess I've never lived in Texas, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Texans get more cowboyish as once the tourists go away, but if anything, you'd think they'd lean into the cowboy thing more with tourists, right? Not that I'd recommend going to Texas as a tourist. Feels like there wouldn't be much to do. Is Texas an instrument? I think it is. It's like a calculator, right? Something like that. Do you hear the noises this is making, by the way? It's very gassy. Definitely hearing that pump cussy, if you will. Oh my. I mean, here, let me give you a close-up of the noises I'm hearing right now next to me. I'm not sure how well you can hear it from this spot, but it's very... Well, that's not making it. Make the noise again. Do the thing. Come on. Now it's stage. Now it's like it's got stage fright. Okay, well, I could have sworn a second ago it was like sort of sound. Oh? It's still not doing the thing. Whatever. Just gonna have to take my word for it. The steamy whap. Yeah, okay, yeah, something like that. Thank you, Cardi B. Pumpkin queef. Your words, not mine. Oh, turns out the setup's not super comfy to cook on. This chair plus table combo has always been a little bit awkwardly height. Like, Jesus, this chair's also digging into the dirt. Let me add some rocks to this. Hold on. Rock. Chair kind of starts digging into the dirt and you sink lower and lower and hurts your back when you have to like hunch over this table so much. Okay. Anyways, all right. This is a beautiful spot. Absolutely, yes. This is the spot I used for the Cinco de Mayo stream. And like when I first came here, like literally within like the first few moments of when I came here, I was already thinking like, oh, I should come back here during the fall. That would be sick. Because I assumed it'd have some pretty sick fall colors. Now, to be honest, it probably would need another like, I'd say 2 weeks to have the fall colors simmer. Because right now, like, yeah, you can see some fall aesthetic, but you can kind of tell it's still kind of green out here, which is like fine, but it just doesn't really quite have the fall aesthetic that I was hoping for, but yeah, whatever. Unfortunately, I just couldn't put off the stream any longer because I've been planning on doing the stream for a very long time and I was just waiting for the colors to be right. And it's just taken so long for the trees to change color this year that I had to wait and put it off longer and longer and longer and longer, and finally I've gotten to the point where it's just like if I wait any longer, I'm not going to be able to do it. Yeah. Lido understood the reference at least. Rock. Okay. That would represent... Oh, don't blow away, please. This would represent 1 pound of sliced mushrooms. Neat. Oh, careful, Joel. Careful, buddy. All right. So we got that prepped, and I think the only other really thing we have to prep here, I think, is the onion. Well, technically, it's supposed to be the quote-quote shallots, but in reality, it's just going to be an onion. It's a lot of mushrooms. It is, but... I mean, one thing you know about mushrooms if you cook them is that, like, they reduce down to, like, nothing. So, like, the volume of this mushroom pile is going to get, like, down to, like, a quarter of this size by the time they've cooked. So it looks like a lot, but we're going to be putting these into a big old pot, and I guarantee you they'll reduce down to a reasonable size. And this is, sausage, mushroom, pumpkin risotto, after all, right? So it is one of the major ingredients, so you don't want a small amount. All right, anyways, let's get the onion out. Now, this recipe calls for a medium-sized shallot, and I didn't really feel like finding a shallot anywhere, so I just substituted for an onion and called that good enough. But shallots, if you know, aren't really all that large, right? They're kind of the size of a very small onion, so I went out and found myself the most adorable-sized onion I've ever seen in my life. Is that cute? No, a little baby onion. but it should take the place of a shallot, right? As far as the volume of onion that we get out of it. Adorable. Very cute, exactly. It's a peepo cute onion. All right. Yellow onion? Whatever. I don't have any yellow onions with me, so sorry, too late. It'll be fine. It's not even that much. It won't even affect the flavor all that much because there's barely any of it anyways. Am I going to cast Whirlwind on this onion? Well, I'm confused with these video game references you're making. Sir, I'm an outdoor cooking streamer. Red onion packs more onion flavor. Yeah, that was my kind of line of thought too, right? Especially because the shallots, like when you look at them, they literally just look like red onions. I understand that just because they look like them doesn't guarantee they taste the same, but onions taste like onions, whatever, dude. All right, let's cut this bad boy in half. Makes it a little easier to peel. Slice and dice is better. I'm a rogue? Okay, I definitely take offense to that. Number one, how dare you? And number two, slice and dice? What? Like I said, I'm an outdoor cooking streamer. I have no idea what you're talking about. What time is it? I gotta keep an eye out for the time. Keep in mind, the sunset's like not super late nowadays, so because of that, I only probably have about, call it like 3.5 hours of usable light left. Which, in theory, is plenty of time, but knowing my cooking history, you never know. So, especially because I also need to clean up after the stream is over, and I don't want to have to do that in the pitch blackness. That would suck, too, so. We're on a bit of a timetable here. I'm not super worried right now. I'm just, if something goes off the rails, and oftentimes it does on these cooking streams, then could be a problem. What's up? I am Brian, coming in top of the tier 1 sub now for 47 months. Thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. Your sub, as always, will go directly to the Hot Pockets, Doritos, and Risotto Fund. Maybe if you inhale some of that propane from the tank, you can be a rogue player. Is propane copium, or are they the same thing? Weather Underground says 6:22 for you, so probably a bit later for me. Well, yeah, it's later for me because you got to keep in mind that, like, I'm on the border. Linham knows this, I guess, but I'm on the border of the Eastern and Central time zone, so because of that, where I live is like could be Central time, which means that like you can kind of think of this where I live as like an hour, as far as the sunlight's concerned, an hour earlier than like the East Coast, sort of. So, yeah, for me, lately I've noticed, yeah, the sun will set around 6:30 or so, and like you can still, there's some usable light after that, but still, you don't really want to cut it too close after sunset's gone down. Obviously, if I was just like in my own apartment or my own balcony or whatever, it'd be no big deal, but not exactly a whole lot of street lights where I am right now, so I'd rather not have to try to clean all this up in the pitch darkness in the middle of the woods. That would kind of suck. Especially because there's technically like a water crossing to get where I'm at. Thankfully, it's only like ankle deep, and it's only for like 5 or 6 feet, so it's not exactly super sketchy, but, you know, I'd rather not wade across that in the pitch blackness just because that'd be kind of spooky. That was another annoying part about having to like pack up and go get something because I forgot from my apartment, like not once but twice before the stream started, because like what I had to do basically is like I had to take off my shoes, take off my socks, and then put on sandals so that way I could cross without like getting my shoes wet, and then I would have to, after I crossed, like, okay, put the shoes back on, and then all right, get home, and then okay, got to cross again once I'm back, like, okay, well, you know, put the sandals back on. It was a whole ordeal. Not fun. All right, I'm gonna get these onto the plate and then stir the pumpkin butter here, since it's been on there for a hot minute now. There's, I think the recipe for the pumpkin butter says like minimum you want it simmering over the quote stove for like, I think it was like 20 minutes, but it said the longer it's on there, the richer the flavor will become. So I get the feeling once we're done prepping these ingredients, it'll be pretty much good to go, but I guess we don't necessarily have to be in a rush, since like it said, the longer we wait, the better it should be, maybe, in theory. Maybe. All right, get on there. Good news is we're almost done with the prep. All we need to prep after this is the garlic, and I think we're just kind of good to go. All right, let's give this one a stir. Oy. All right, it's definitely looking nice and rich, that's for sure. Let me give you a little close-up of what we're working with now. Okay. All right. Now, I wouldn't really call it that much thicker than it was when we started, because it was already pretty damn thick when we started, but that being said, doesn't look bad, I'll say that. I'm willing to spread this on bread and eat it. I'm definitely noticed, though, it's a bit more chunky than you would traditionally expect something like pumpkin butter to be, and that's largely, I think, because I'm using homemade pumpkin puree instead of just the canned stuff. But as long as it tastes good, and like as long as you can spread it over bread, and it's perfectly doable still, then should be pretty tasty, I think. Stay. Anyways, I'll finish off the onion. You're a little late. What's being cooked here exactly? We are making pumpkin butter right there for our pumpkin garlic bread that doesn't actually have any butter, or it doesn't actually have any garlic. And we are also making some pumpkin sausage and mushroom risotto. And as a person who's never made risotto before, I decided to make it as hard as possible on myself to pull it off. Because it wouldn't be Clueless Bachelor cooking without streamer struggle busting a little bit, right? The title of, I mean, funny thing is, I guess I didn't even use the Clueless Bachelor cooking title today, but it probably would have applied pretty well considering what we're making. Oh well, you can just kind of imply that it's still a Clueless Bachelor cooking stream. You just kind of know by default. Okay. So that would be the quote shallots prepared right there. Streamer, it's not the same. You gotta use a yellow onion because it's gonna be totally different, and oh, your risotto's gonna be ruined now. No. Yeah. I'm supposed to mince it, by the way. I don't know if you consider this to be minced, but I'm not capable of cutting the onion much finer than this, so whatever. Good enough for me. All right. And then last thing, we just need to get the garlic out. Now the good news with the garlic is, because we got our little garlic crusher, courtesy of Lido, we're not really going to have to worry about chopping it up. All I really have to do with this is, hold on. All I really have to do with it is get it out of its, out of the little shell, not shell, whatever, peel, that. Where did I put my garlic? It's in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. All right, it says, how many cloves do I have to use here? This ground, dude, not conducive for a camping chair, I can tell you that. Hoi. This calls for 4 garlic cloves. We're obviously going to use more because you never just use the recommended amount of garlic cloves. You always use more, obviously. These admittedly are pretty small cloves here, though, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball this and YOLO it. All right. One more. One more for the road won't kill me. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Can never use too much garlic. I've actually disproven that theory. When I made the shepherd's pie for St. Patrick's Day earlier this year, I definitely put too much garlic in it. It wasn't bad, but it was definitely like, the garlic flavor was stronger than I would have preferred. And so that was like the first time in my life where I finally proved that, like, okay, technically, yeah, you can add too much garlic. Now, keep in mind, I did add a fuckload, so you gotta like really try, like you gotta go really, really overboard to get to that point, but it is possible. It is possible. Risotto, more like cringe risotto? Bro, you can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, if I've got tasty risotto to eat and you don't, then we'll see who the cringe one is. All right, yeah. Tiny little pathetic cloves. How you doing, pumpkin butter? Are you still chilling? Still doing its thing. Also, I just saw your comment there, Lada. You're getting me a slap chop for Christmas. Oh my! Isn't that the thing where the dude that was the spokesperson for it like went to jail because he diddled kids or something? I'm not interested in diddling kids. I'm just saying. I want to maybe give that gift to like a person who plays gnome. It might fit a little better. They do enjoy playing, or at least fantasizing about being some 12-year-old look-alike. All right, so we've got like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 8 cloves of garlic, but these are very small cloves. So I'd say, honestly, for more, I guess what you'd call regular-sized cloves of garlic, this would probably be pretty close to what the recipe calls for anyways. AKA 4. Whoa! Careful now. Kids safe. Hookers. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he beat up hookers. That's what it was. All right, I'm down for beating up hookers. That's fine. Sure, I'll take the slap chop. As long as they're consenting hookers, that's what counts. Although I'm not really sure I need to peruse the world-famous Indiana ones. I'm sure they're wonderful ladies. Money is money, money on the table. Haven't I played female space goat? Sure, but last I checked, kids, and even hookers for that matter, don't really have any resemblance to female space goats, so I'm not judging that. That's fine. Last I checked, Dre and I don't go, "Hi, how are you?" "Alrighty then." "My, you're a tall one." Oh, shut the fuck up. Imagine being like the person who did those voice lines. Just forever shamed. You can never show your face in public ever again. All right, garlic is prepped. Very cool. So, at this point, I think all the prep is done, right? Let me look at the ingredient list here just to make sure that I'm not a giant liar with that statement. Chicken stock, we're already good to go. Pumpkin puree, good to go. Olive oil. Sausage, sliced mushrooms, fresh thyme that we'll just do when we need to. Medium shallots, minced, yeah. Garlic cloves, yeah. Rice is already good to go. Salt and pepper, white wine, unsalted butter, Parmigiano, we can just grate later. Parsley and sage, okay. All right, so what we basically have to do now is we're gonna have to start on the liquid part. So like I read in advance, and I guess if you know stuff about cooking risotto, I didn't until today, or well, a few days ago. You gotta like pour a little bit of liquid in, like stir, let it do its thing, and then after it's cooked through, like okay, pour a little bit more, cook, stir, whatever again, blah blah blah. So we're gonna have to work on the liquid portion that we're gonna pour in first. Unfortunately, I only have one stove, so we kind of maybe just need to call this done. I don't know how long I've been working on this now, but hopefully the pumpkin butter's done. How long did it say we need for the pumpkin butter? It says cook uncovered for 15 to 20 minutes. I feel like it's probably been 15 to 20 minutes at this point. Now, like we said, the longer it stays on there, in theory, the better it is, but I guess if anything, we can give it a taste test and see how we're doing. This is way too much, by the way. I don't know why I decided to make the full recipe of this. I could have easily gotten away with like a quarter recipe, and that'd have been more than enough already. I will say this. The color has deepened a bit. It's got a bit more, I don't know, browned, I guess, if you want to say, which is kind of what you expect pumpkin butter to look like. And it is definitely thicker than when we started. It was already thick when we started this, but definitely a bit of a richer color and a more, I don't know. I wouldn't call it a buttery texture. It's more like a, I don't know. You get the idea, right? Yeah. Shall we just give it a little taste test real quick? I mean, it's good. I'll be honest. It kind of tastes like what it tasted like from the start, but not a bad thing. It tastes good. Do we call this good enough? It's pretty good. I mean, yeah, could it be reduced even further? I'm sure it could be, but I'll be completely honest. I'm not sure it's going to change significantly after this point. I'm kind of just good to go and ready to call this good enough. This is kind of the warm-up anyways. This is the easy part. The fact that I keep wanting to have more means I guess we did okay. All right, cool. Pumpkin butter, check. All right. I guess we'll just kind of put this off to the side, and I'll be ready to go when it's time. Dali, I should cover this. What do I cover this with? A plate, I guess. Okay. Cover that plate with a rock so it doesn't fly away. Rock, 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 rock. Trying to find a rock that isn't covered in dirt. Here's one. Okay. Cool. Let's leave the stove on since we're about to start on that anyways, and I don't really feel like restarting that. Flavor developments. Yeah, I'd say we properly developed flavor in the pumpkin butter. Okay, cool. So, first thing we need to do is pour the chicken stock and pumpkin puree into a saucepan, stir until smooth, and place over medium-low heat. Okay, you know what? I actually am going to turn the stove off because I kind of forgot about that part, so. Plus, we were able to start this with a lighter earlier, so, it's fine. All right. So, let me get out a saucepan. Viewers of the past pumpkin cooking stream last year might recognize this saucepan, actually. This is the one that we tried to make the pumpkin spice latte in. We put this over like a little charcoal pile. The results were underwhelming, but at least we got a nice little pot out of it that we can continue to use to this day. So, it says use 6 cups of chicken stock and pumpkin puree. Now, I know purists are going to say, like, oh, chicken stock. Well, hopefully you made that on your own pod using your own chicken carcass, whatever the fuck, and hopefully, you used the vegetables and blah, 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 and hopefully you're not just using the box stuff. Yeah, I'm just using the box stuff, all right? Sue me. Is it as good as the stuff you'd make on your own at home? Probably not, but I at least tried to compensate by making my own pumpkin puree, all right? So, this represents 6 whole cups right here. Great value, obviously. So we're just going to kind of add that in there. Kim it. Oop. They differ between firewater and... It's the difference between firewater and black jujus. Yeah, well, firewaters have gotten the job done well enough in the past. It's going to again. All right, let me just pee into this thing real quick. The hole they put in this thing to pour isn't exactly enormous, so... All right. Oh, come on. Needs strong flow here. Strong flow. They did not design this thing to pour quickly, clearly. Okay, it's very splashy. Alright, oh man, it's like one of those mornings where you really gotta piss. Okay, shake the end a little bit, shake it a couple of times. Don't shake it too much, otherwise you're playing with it, and that's weird. Okay. Yep, smells like chicken broth. If I stab the hole in the top, it comes out faster. Well, that would have been nice to know about 30 seconds ago. Thanks for that. And what do we combine this with? The pumpkin puree. All right. We do, in fact, have more of our homemade pumpkin puree. Because at least, even if I didn't make my own chicken stock, I at least was fancy enough to make my own pumpkin puree. I don't think all of this is going to be needed. I know it's a cup we needed. Yeah, this is actually probably close enough to a cup that we'll probably just add this, actually. Yeah, fuck it, whatever. We'll just add this whole thing. It's probably a little bit more than a cup, but I don't mind if it's extra pumpkin-y. That's fine. Same concept of shotgunning a beer. I know, I get it. I know it goes like the bloop, 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 because it's, the air needs to release and escape somehow. Yeah, whatever. All right, so we just combine this, and that's it, right? Stir until smooth and place over medium-low heat. Bring low, keep simmer, keep warm. Yeah, so that part's a bit of a problem. We're going to have to... The recipe ideally wants you to basically mix this up, put this on the stove, and have this simmer now for the next, while. And while you're doing that on a separate burner, you're going to start up the risotto and do that stuff. The issue is that out here, I only have one stove, right? So I think we're just gonna have to play this kind of song and dance where we juggle the two and try our best to keep the mixture here warm without letting the risotto get cold and vice versa. Okay, I'm not gonna use all of it actually, that's already a lot. Guess I'll just have a tiny bit left over, whatever, dude. What's up, Drast? Coming in hot with a little raid of Ronin. I take it that means the first Amy raid has ended. I was a little paranoid today, like, damn, I'm kind of doing this during the Amy raid, aren't I? Rip all the Amy GDKP viewers that want to watch Comfy Cooking, but hopefully you guys are capable of tuning in now. I guess if anything, we're just about to get to the good part anyways, right? All right, so I gotta stir this up. I don't know how well pumpkin puree is gonna stir into chicken broth. It's actually stirring surprisingly well to the point where it's already somewhat uniform. That's a pleasant surprise. I don't know if you can tell, but the liquid level on this is kind of high already. I'm glad I brought this size saucepan, because originally I was thinking I would just use the one that I used for the rice right there, and I'm realizing now this had been way too much, or way too much liquid to fit in that one pot, so I'm glad I brought this one. But once again, it's gonna be a little precariously placed on that stove. All right, so I think what I'll do is I'll bring this to a simmer just to get this, I guess, kind of initially cooked or whatever. And then once it's at that point, we'll take it off the heat, which you're not really supposed to do, but I don't really have a choice. And then we'll put the risotto on, and then when it's time to start pouring this into the risotto, we'll take the risotto off, put this over it, heat it back up, and then just kind of have to do the song and dance where we switch back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What is better than THC? Cooking in the woods? Hell yeah, dude. Dude, I love these little comfy outdoor cooking streams. I wish I could do these more often, but they're a large... It's a large project to pull one of these off. Like, I know, like, when I just push the start button, you're like, I don't know, I just brought a cardboard box on the table out here. How hard could it be? But, these ones always take a lot of work. Just need I need a team of people that would be able to plan this all for me, so that way I can just, like, come out here and just do my streaming thing. But sadly, no one wants to join my team for free. I don't really know why. All right, start that up again. Ooh. That light. Yeah, that light. Okay. It's always impossible to tell whether the flame here is lit, because it, at least in daylight, is basically just an invisible flame. All right. So we're going to start simmering this bad boy right here. Oh, careful, SpongeBob. Stay. All right. That's not precarious at all. Okay, cool. Dress says we're in debt. What? Oh, did you buy a little hungry sword? Oh, shit. 90K. Feels like kind of an expensive hungry sword in 2024, but gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Personally, I just like to get mine for free, but, you know, that's just me, whatever. You'll join my team for a large paycheck. Okay, I can offer $5 a year and some tasty leftover food. Perhaps the occasional Hot Pocket and or Dorito bag. Surely that's enough, right? All right, so while that is beginning to do its thing, we're going to get our large pot out. Oh, yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, this is the part where they just kind of need to cook simultaneously. This sucks. Like, that next part's just like, okay, get out your large pot and start heating it up so that way you can put all this stuff in there. So maybe what we do in the meantime, because this will have to take a while to get to the point it starts simmering. Let me get the pot out first things first. Out of our giant bag of goodies here, of course. Always quite the disaster I have that I'd never show you inside of here for a reason. It's always a bit of a disaster. First things first, I'll take out maybe some of the ingredients we're going to need for the risotto. It calls for a special type of rice, the arborio rice. I don't know what the difference is between this and regular rice, but this is the rice apparently they use for risottos, so we got that in this little piss yellow bag. Boom. Eventually we're going to need a bunch of fancy sounding herbs. So we got, I guess we'll need our olive oil there. Great value, obviously. A little bit of pepper. Okay, don't really need cinnamon and pumpkin pie spice anymore, I guess. Salt we'll definitely want. Don't need a lemon now. And okay. Our fancy herbs are in here somewhere. There they are. Might as well just get all the stuff out now, like I said. All right, some Parmigiano cheese. Okay, that's a leaf. Shoo-shoo. Some thyme. Thyme is money, friend. And a bit of butter. Great value, of course. Yeah. Stay. Oh, I forgot one because it fell out. And also some fresh sage. I think I've only ever used this once in a other cooking stream. I think it was for booze giving last year, if I remember correctly. Good times, good times. Okay. Literally, I just took all those things out so that way I could access the pot that we're actually cooking all of this in. It wasn't just for show. Big old pot right here. All right. Got that one ready to go. Cool. Now, in the meantime, since we need to get this little pumpkin chicken broth mixture up to a simmer, and it's definitely not anywhere close to simmering yet as far as I can tell. Is it warm yet? Something I've noticed in the past about this this little setup right here is that this pot takes forever to have anything heat up. I think it's just because it's like a very thick pot. And turn this up a bit more. It's a thick pot, so I think it's just like a large volume of metal it has to heat up before like the actual stuff inside of it starts heating. Which I guess maybe that means it retains heat well, so maybe that's good news for later when we need to take this off the stove. It just is a little tedious when you're actually trying to get something to do the thing, you know? Okay, now, in the meantime, I think since we have a bit of extra time to just do whatever, this is probably a good time to get even comfier, isn't it? Oh, shit. Okay. Is this the same cardboard box? It is indeed. Same one as always. All right, now, for those that have been following my channel for a, I don't know, indefinite period of time in the past 2 years or so, you would know that I'm a Scotch enjoyer, right? And so, it used to be that I did this actually pretty frequently. I would do Scotch taste tests. I would get a Scotch, a new Scotch I've never had before, usually a very smoky, like peaty sort of Scotch, and I would try out the Scotch on stream and let you know how it was. I will admit lately, probably over the past like year or so, I haven't really done it much. And the reason's because, not because like I don't like Scotch or I don't want to drink Scotch, but it's mostly just the fact that like I kind of ran out of new Scotches to try. I kind of ran out of Scotches that like I was eager to try for the first time on stream. Just because like all the good ones that I'd wanted to try, like I tried. And like, I'm just going to drink them. Cool. So, they've become much more sporadic. But I will say, there is a certain kind of like limited edition sort of Scotch that comes out every year that has almost become sort of tradition on the stream to try. So 2 years ago, Lagavulin, which is one of the Scotch distillers in one of the big Scotch distillers in the region of Islay, so like the region of Scotland that produces like really smoky Scotch. Lagavulin, who's probably best known for making Lagavulin 16, did a collaboration with Nick Offerman of Parks and Rec fame, among other things. And they produced a Scotch that was a Lagavulin branded Scotch that the first one was, it was aged and, careful Joel, it was aged and, it was aged in Guinness barrels, right? So it was, after it did its whole Scotch thing, distillation process, they put it inside of old Guinness barrels and aged it inside of there for, I think, 9 years or whatever it was. So that was one of the best Scotches I've ever had. That's in that's in my top 5 list of like best Scotches I've ever had. That one was just absolutely mind-blowingly tasty. And I really wish I would have bought more bottles of that and saved one so that way I could have it for something special later. But I didn't because it was so good that I just drank it all. Oh well. And so last year they came out with like a little sequel to that one. It was once again an Offerman labeled Scotch. And that one was aged instead in charred oak casks. And that's the one I had last year, I think, for my birthday stream, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And that one was decent, but it wasn't anywhere close to the amazingness of the one aged in Guinness casks. All right. So you probably see where I'm going with this, right? So for year 3, they came out with the same Offerman edition for Lagavulin. And so, kind of continuing with the tradition, they aged it in a different type of barrel this time. So this year, we have our Lagavulin 11 Offerman edition, and we're going to bust it out and give it a little taste test. Oh, shit. Is oak charred a good thing? Doesn't sound like a good thing? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty typical for, like, bourbon barrels. They usually, I mean, there's 2 different types of barrels. There's, like, the fresh oak, like, raw, just untreated oak barrels that they'll put it in, but then also charred oak barrels is a thing as well. They kind of impart a bit more of like a smoky flavor and a bit more of like a tannic flavor, if you will. So I went out, and unfortunately I could really only find it online at this point, but I went online and purchased myself some Lagavulin 11 Offerman edition, an Islay single malt Scotch whiskey with a Caribbean rum cask finish, aged 11 years. Now, to, like I said, like to continue the tradition, this time around, they used rum barrels. When it comes to rum specifically, get out of here, Mr. Wasp. When it comes to rum specifically, I'm not like, I don't have anything against rum, but it's never really something I go out of my way to drink, because rum tends to be a little sweeter than I prefer, and it tends to be something that I never really consider that I would drink straight. And there's nothing wrong with like rum cocktails, but this is probably unfair. I'm sure there's plenty of rum cocktails that aren't like this, but I always kind of associate rum with like the super fruity, super sweets and overwhelmingly sweet sort of cocktails, sort of thing, right? So I generally speaking don't drink a lot of rum. But I will say this, I have tried one other Scotch that was aged in rum barrels, and it is fantastic. For those wondering, it's Balvenie 14. Balvenie 14, aged in rum barrels. When I first tried it, I was like, rum barrels, okay, I mean, we'll see. But it does some magical things to that Scotch. So I'm very curious to see if it's going to make this as good. Because one thing that other Scotch doesn't have is like that smoky, peaty flavor. It is more just like a quote-quote regular Scotch. This one is a very peated Scotch, though. Lagavulin known for the peated stuff. So I'll be curious to see how the rum flavor is imparted into the Scotch right here. Now, let me give you a little close-up of the box here, okay? Kind of a neat box. They've got like this little Atlantic Ocean map right here, right? I guess signifying that they're showing like the Caribbean where the... Oh, Caribbean, is that the Caribbean? Yeah, Caribbean, where I guess the rum casks come from, maybe. And obviously Scotland, where the rum is actually, or not the rum, the Scotch is actually made and aged. Kind of cool. They got like little ports on the map here too. It's a neat box, actually. It's really cool. Huh. It's cooler than the previous ones. The previous ones were like not bad. They were just kind of plain and nothing's fancy. That's kind of cool. They got Nick Offerman sitting here in Chicago. Nice, nice, nice. So there you go. Kind of neat. All right, so let me give you a little ASMR reading of what it says here on the side. Oh, let me actually, before I do that, get out the my Glencairn here, so we're ready to do the pouring thing when the time comes. Whee. Nothing like enjoying a bit of Scotch in the great outdoors, right? Now, I can't really drink too much since I am driving back from here, but I can at least enjoy a couple of glasses. That's not going to do any harm. Yeah. All right. So. Oi, 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 oi. Hoi. Oh my God, this starts out in such a perfect for this stream meme way. As a red-blooded American, I cherish few things. As a red-blooded American, I cherish few things more than my freedom. Across the magisterial decades of my life as a world-renowned bon vivant, I have known liberty in many flavors. The wind whipping through my husky grin as I cruise on a motorcycle across the cornfields of Illinois. The relief flooding my anxious psyche when I purchase a savory strap of hormone-free, grass-fed beef jerky. Or the righteousness that courses through my veins when I declare my support of chunky peanut butter over smooth. Amen. He spits in disgust. I shit you not, that was actually in the little description here. These splendid rights are truly to be savored, but I also have to admit that they pale and dwindle if held up against the vastly superior freedom I feel when I am in the crow's nest of a square-rigged sailor schooner, her bow pointing heroically at our far-flung destination beyond the horizon. For example, when my crew and I are sailing the Quercus Alba, a good ship and true, on our established route from Isla to my hometown of Minooka, Illinois, we encounter all manner of both seas and sea creatures, some of which would, if we were chumps, beggar our collective disbelief. However, because of the freedom I have cultivated in my lifetime of creative pursuits, I am generally able to employ my own open mind and swap a few yarns with these disparate swimmers and submariners. Sure, sometimes we disagree on matters of taste, like if your smoked pork shoulder rub requires extra paprika, not a euphemism, when grilling in the Bermuda Triangle, or when floating directly above the lost continent of Mu. Like M-U, just Mu? But one thing we all seem to agree on is the benevolent effect that Caribbean rum casks have on the flavor of our Lagavulin 11 single malt Scotch. You see, the favorable winds, or westerlies, that blow our noble bark through the West Indies and favor us with the scents and flavors of the tropics, also send us hurtling across the vast ocean to Scotland, where we apply that inspiration to this, our paradise in a bottle. Once this liquid booty has been finished in rum casks for 8 months, the mouthfeel brings a delightful but unlikely mix of smoky and sweet, like simultaneously enjoying a mouthful of lemon meringue pie and the aromas of a bonfire. That citrus hit combines with notes of honey and vanilla to warm your tongue like a Caribbean breeze. It's getting a little pretentious, but a cinder toffee sweetness lingers with just a wisp of golden cinnamon, like the sun setting on your lee shore, and you are left with the maritime brine and warm chili pepper relish of a long, delightful finish. If this stripe of freedom sounds palatable to you, then this might be the dram you seek. Signed, Nick Offerman. Well, there you go. All this for whiskey. But, okay, in fairness, like, people get pretty damn pretentious when it comes to Scotch, so it wouldn't be a bottle of whiskey without this giant essay on the side telling you about how amazing their Scotch is and describing the 20 different flavors you're supposed to taste when you taste this. We'll see about that. What's up, Rant Talk coming in hot with the Tier 1 sub now for 6 months. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Your sub will go directly to the Hot Pockets, Doritos, and Scotch Fund. Lagavulin Chad, indeed. One of my favorites. Absolutely. Yeah, something unsweetened breakfast cereal, exactly, dude. How's this doing, by the way? Is this simmering yet? I can see it's kind of a little frothy at the top. I don't see any simmer, though. Still a work in progress, I think. That's okay. I got time. All right, let's bust her out, shall we? It says here on the little inside here, warning, this beverage may cause you to break out in boat purchases. I've actually never had any interest in owning a boat, even if I was giga rich. I've heard owning a boat's a pain in the ass. Like, how's the old saying go? Like, the 2 best day of a boat owner's life is the day they buy it and the day they sell it. You've had the best Scotch of your life a few times now? The best Scotch, like, my favorite Scotch of all time is, oh man, look at that bottle. Beautiful, dude. My favorite Scotch of all time is still Port Charlotte 10. That's the GOAT, but the Offerman edition from 2 years ago was arguably my second favorite Scotch ever. So I'll be curious to see how this one matches up. I will say the bottle looks cool. Oy. Oh. Okay. Lagavulin bottles normally have more of like almost like a brown aesthetic to them. This one's got little like accents of blue and gold. That's kind of neat. Blue topper as well. But there you go. Oh. So there you go. Oh, here we go. So I think every time they release this, I believe it's the same quote here at the bottom. It says, I have traveled the world and sampled many attempts at pleasing nectars, but it is solely this distillation of Islay, a tiny, charismatic Scottish isle, that has claimed my palate. Ye and my heart into the bargain. Nick Offerman. Okay. Whatever you say, Nick. Ugh. This needs to hurry up and simmer faster. Come on now. What are you doing, bud? Just, can you do the thing already? I know it's a lot of liquid, but still. All right. What's up, Patar 101 coming in top of the Prime sub? Thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. Your sub will go directly to the Hot Pockets Doritos and Delicious Scotch Fund. Appreciate you, dude. Only reason you would want a boat is to go deep sea fishing. If you were a giga rich, you would just charter one and a captain. Yeah, exactly. If I'm like to the point of like fuck you levels of money, I'm just renting someone else's boat and letting them do all the work. Like, why the hell would I want to do all the work if I can just pay someone else to do it at that point? Do I save the empty bottles? I usually don't save the bottles, but what I save is like the box it comes in. So I've got like this entire little row collection of like all the old Scotch boxes that I have. And it is kind of cool. All right, ready for one of the best sounds in existence. Smell it first. The nose. Oh, it smells like a Lagavulin right there. It smells super smoky, super peaty, a little salty. Smells rich, hint of sweetness in there. Oh, it's actually been a while since I drank an Isla Scotch. I've been more enjoying some bourbon and some beer lately. So I haven't had one of these ultra peaty scotches in a hot minute now. And if anything, that'll kind of like refresh my palate and allow the flavor to be that much more intense. Oh, God, that smells good. I could just smell this all day. I don't even have to drink it. Oh, that being said, we are going to drink it, obviously. Hope no hikers were walking by when I made that noise. Now, thankfully, like it's in the middle of a late October day. Not exactly a whole lot of hikers. I mean, it's really nice outside, so it'd be a pleasant day to do it, but I'd say hiking season's kind of past its prime at this point. All right. Little dram of that bad boy. There we go. All right. Oh, it smells nice, man. Oh, this makes me want to just bundle up into like a bunch of blankets, light up a candle, play a comfy like story-based game. Definitely gonna save some of the scotch for when the next little release of the new Life is Strange game comes out. Which, by the way, I do want to stream at some point. Not sure when that's going to be, but I'll stream it at some point, I guarantee. All right. Cheers, chat. Oh, that's nice, man. Man, it just lingers with that like the campfire taste at the end. Lagavulin's known for that. It's got this like really rich, almost like sort of meaty finish to it, like where it's almost like the finish of like bacon almost. One more. Oh, gotta turn that down. Oh. Oh, that is tasty, man. You can definitely taste like the small rum influence on it. You can definitely taste almost like more of a, how do you describe it? I mean, kind of like, I guess that's just a hint of like the rum sort of flavor, but it's not overpowering. It's very subtle in there, super subtle. And it does work well, just like with that other scotch. It works well with scotch flavor, which you wouldn't really expect, and yet it does. It makes the scotch a bit, not really necessarily sweeter, but it makes it more, I know this sounds pretentious, but it has more hints of like tropical fruit in it, I guess, which I guess unsurprisingly would be, coming from the rum influence. I'm imagining like eating some sort of like tropical citrus fruit on the beach or something. It adds, or like almost like bananas in the tropics or plantains or what the fuck ever. That's a bright note to it. Yeah, I'm not like some like ultra snobby whiskey person who's able to like name every tasty note and talk, oh, unsweetened breakfast cereal. But yeah, I can definitely tell you Yeah, a bit of a, I guess what you'd call a bright note to it. Oh, you gotta turn that down more. A bit of a bright note to it, and definitely a flavor that is unique compared to the other Lagavulins I've had. Now, I'll say this. This does not beat the one from 2 years ago, but that's a tall task. Like, that's a lot to live up to, because that was like one of my favorite scotches of all time. That being said, I like this one better than last year's version. Last year's version was fine, but I didn't think it was particularly creative as far as what they aged it in, nor did I think the flavor was like that standoutish. I mean, it was good. It tasted like Lagavulin, and don't get me wrong, Lagavulin's really good, just as is. But this one has an interesting influence to it that it actually makes it more similar to my favorite Scotch, which is Port Charlotte 10. It makes it actually more similar to a taste than this, because Port Charlotte has more of like a maritime, coastal, briny, salty sort of flavor to it, whereas Lagavulin tends to be like richer and meatier and more, like when I say meatier, I mean like meat, like almost like a bacon finish, if you will, to it. Even has like a bacon, like a slight like bacon smell to it. It's like what you'd expect when you eat a pot roast, like that feeling in your mouth, whereas like Port Charlotte's more, it tastes like being in like a really old coastal northern town. And this one's closer to the latter, like the more coastal vibes than the regular Lagavulin. But you can still taste the Lagavulin influence in there. It's good. Well, the color's also really nice too. I don't know how well you can see that, but matches the aesthetic out here in this fall environment beautifully. Oh, look at that. Trees are lighting up back there. That's nice. That's nice. Okay. Where am I? That's gorgeous. Rural Indiana just vibe this time of year. Funny enough, I'm really just not that far away from a parking lot of the local park that I'm in. I'm really fairly close to my home. Like, this is not just somewhere randomly in the middle of the woods. Believe it or not, we're actually relatively close to civilization here. But I love the spot because you can't tell, right? It does just look like we're in the middle of the woods. And yeah, I agree. Ultra comfy aesthetic out here. I was hoping to be like a little bit more fall colory at this time of the year, but still pretty nice. All right. I think that's been simmering now. That's looking pretty good. That one was actually going pretty ham here a few minutes ago until I turned it down. So we're going to take this off the flame and then put this one on, and we're just going to start doing the risotto. Fuck it. Because now that we've got fancy scotch to drink, now we can have some fancy risotto to eat. Oh, shit. Oy. It's cool that I'm in the middle of a semi-dried up river. Yeah, so this was like kind of like the spot that I discovered for the Cinco de Mayo stream that I did. And it was definitely, the water level was a little higher last time, so this time around it's definitely more manageable. But yeah, like I think when it's like a rainy season, like the wet season, this entire area would just be underwater. But right now, yes, it's like this little mini island that forms when it's not super, when the water level's not high. It's nice. Okay, anyways. Okay, let's do it. So yeah, we're gonna have to, the struggle here is gonna be the challenge of balancing keeping this warm while also cooking the risotto and doing that whole thing. So let me read the steps that we're about to follow before I actually do this and take this off the heat, because once we take this off the heat, we're kind of on the clock. All right, so set a large pot or Dutch oven over moderate heat. Once hot, drizzle in the olive oil, add the sausage. Okay, so let's get the sausage out. Got that ready to go. In theory, you could maybe put the stove up here now, I guess, since we're done like prepping all the ingredients, I think. I'm just, as always, maybe a little bit worried about the stability, but at the same time, I do kind of want to show off the whole cooking process or whatever. Like, normally this would be the point where I give you guys like a closer zoom-in shot of what we're doing, but I kind of just want to keep this like, oh, it's such a comfy aesthetic we have right now. I don't really want to ruin it. I mean, I guess I could zoom in and just kind of keep the, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you want a more zoomed in version of this now that we're going to start working on this? Or do you want to keep the current kind of angle and distance that we have? I'll leave it up to you, chat. Could stay warm for a while with the lid on. I don't really have a lid for this pot though, so that's kind of a problem. I mean, I guess I have a quasi lid that I could use. Yeah, a little oversized for it, man. I guess I could just kind of like, boop, once up. All right, what's chat saying here? Kind of enjoying the view. Have to see Joel at all times. All right, fair. We'll just keep it as is. You might not be able to see like the inside of the pot as well, but I can always give you guys close-ups when I need. Fair. All right. Well, in that case, This is good to go for now, so we're going to take this off the heat. Touch that? Yeah. Wait. Rock, rock, rock. Hoi. Put that off to the side down there. And then, do I dare put this on the table? Let's see how stable this gets. It's probably fine. That's kind of wobbly, man. I don't know. I'm not in love with the stability here, if I'm being honest. Would it work? Probably. Do I trust it enough? I think we just do this on the ground. I think that's fine. I'm just doing this on the ground, chat. I don't really want to spill this and have a disaster and start a forest fire, you know? And that's just much more stable down there anyways. Okay. All right. Move this liquid over here for now. Oh. All right. Maybe I'll change the angle just a tiny bit so that way you guys can get a better view of the pot down there. All right. There we go. Yeah, you can still see fine right there. That works. That works. That works. All right. Okay, so we just got to wait for that to heat up, and we're going to add some olive oil to this, and then we're going to toss in the hot Italian sausage that we have. Nice, nice, nice. Take a sip of scotch. Now, what we're going to kind of have to do is do a bit of a juggling act, okay? So, ultimately, when it's time to add in the liquid right here, we're going to need to put that back on the stove, let that heat up again, and then put this back. We're going to have to swap them back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, so that way we try to keep both of them hot. Obviously, this would be a lot easier if I just had like multiple stove burners I could use, but we're going to have to make do. I did consider buying a second burner just for the stream, but number one, I was like, I'm never going to need that ever again. And number two, I thought like, nah, it's more exciting if I just do it this way because it's more challenging this way, right? Sure. Okay. When did I decide to do forest montage? I mean, it's nice, right? I've done this before. Like, I've used this spot before, but last time it was in the start of the spring, and this time it's comfy fall. Mm. All right. No fire allowed. Well, I'm not really in it's not like a campground. This is just a public park, so as much as I'd love to build a campfire, and that'd be sick as fuck, I don't think that would be very appreciated by whoever the fuck runs this park, or anyone really. Shit. Okay, I should have angled this different. Oh, careful, SpongeBob. Turn that down a little bit. It's nice and hot. All right, so we're supposed to add some olive oil. It says a tablespoon. I'm not going to get cute with it. I'm just gonna kind of YOLO that. That's probably about a tablespoon. Okay. And then add the sausage. All right, gotta be a little careful here because this is not the most stable thing ever. Careful, SpongeBob. Oh, yeah. All right. Get some paper towels as well. All right, we got some sizzling going on there. Yeah, so this is the kind of part that I guess that sucks. If you guys have the far away angle, you can't really see what's inside the pot, but you'll have to take my word for it that it's cooking and sizzling up in there. This is to break up the sausage so that way it's nice and, I guess, chunkified, if you will. You missed the spring edition, but this one is good. Hell yeah, dude. For what it's worth, it is on !YouTube if you feel like going back and watching it on your own time. It was the Cinco de Mayo stream. But that being said, like I said earlier, when I used this spot last time, I instantly knew I'd want to use it again for like a stream in the fall, because I knew like it'd be extra pretty in the fall. And I gotta say, it's definitely living up to that reputation at the moment, for sure. Oh man, spicy Italian sausage smells so good, man. Just makes like it just smells like an Italian restaurant. If you just imagine what an Italian restaurant smells like, it smells like this. Okay, I got it nice and broken up here. Ooh, I should add some salt and pepper. The recipe doesn't explicitly call for me to salt and pepper this, but like, come on. If you're cooking meat over the stove, you add salt and pepper, obviously. Ugh. Don't you like? I think it's like chefs say you gotta like use salt like every step, right? Don't go overboard, of course, but just do like a little of that. Little pepper. Freshly cracked pepper, of course. You say that the real-time cameraman is the cooking skill at 300, though? I mean, like, I'm not anywhere close to some master chef or anything, that's for sure. I'm sure people by watching my cooking stream still know that, but I will say this. Like, you're asking how many cooking streams are we up to? It's a lot more than you think. It's funny because I agree that like it doesn't feel like we've done that many, but when I look at the little folder I have where I've saved all the recipes from all the cooking streams that I've done, it is a much longer list than you would assume like it would be. I think I've got like at least probably up to like maybe 35, maybe 40 recipes that or like separate folders that I've had for cooking streams. We've done a lot. I will admit I haven't done as many this year as I did last year, just because as you kind of exhaust all the fun ideas you had initially, like the ideas that like sound fun and are still unique are a little bit slower to come to mind. But that being said, I think we've done probably 35 or 40 of these at this point. So, like I said, I'm no master chef and nowhere close. But I will say this: I think I'm at least like I would call myself competent now, despite the titles of the cooking streams, right? The whole Clueless Bachelor thing. Like I would say like, especially maybe just compared to your old average Joe out there that. Especially probably in America that just doesn't really ever cook for themselves. I'd say I have an above average knowledge of what to do at this point. I'm nowhere close to what I'd call like good or great, but I'm at least like I said, competent, which I feel like is more than most people could say for what it's worth. I don't know. One of the things I really go away, shoo. One of the things I really love about these streams is not only have they just been fun to do, but they've also kind of given me a somewhat fun life skill. I appreciate that this can translate into tasty food that I can then eat and sustain myself, you know? All right. That sausage in there cooking beautifully. Booty. Any chicks that got to taste the cooking yet? Maybe a few. Possibly. I should do more in a van where the cops show up. That was your favorite. I've been tempted to do a sequel to that one. I don't know. Number one, I don't quite have the balls to do it again. And number two, I would need to think of an original idea. Like I don't want to just do it for the sake of doing it. I'd want to do it for a reason or like have some sort of gimmick associated with it. All right. So I think it says once the sausage is cooked, we take it out and we're just going to add it back in later. And if anything, now we're going to take advantage of all the delicious sausage stuff at the bottom of the pan. Cook until brown, slightly crispy. Okay, it says cook until brown and slightly crispy. I don't know if it's crispy yet, in fairness. Need to turn up the heat a little bit if we want that. Just a smidge. How do I feel about the cheap imitation Krabby Patty from Wendy's? Do I think I could make a much better iconic burger? I haven't tried the Wendy's one, but yeah, I mean, every review that I've seen of it and every description I've seen of it looks very underwhelming. It just looks like a Wendy's cheeseburger, which by default is not a bad thing, but the fact that they're calling it a Krabby Patty seems a little bit, I don't know, money grabby, because like I don't really, which I guess maybe is very in line with Mr. Krabs, so maybe that's the point. But it just doesn't seem very, I don't know, Krabby Patty enough to like call it a Krabby Patty. It just kind of seems like a cheap money grab for people that are like SpongeBob, be like, oh yeah, it's a Krabby Patty, we promise. Like, seems like a regular Wendy's cheeseburger, which once again, that's not a bad thing, but calling it a Krabby Patty? I don't know. All right, here's the sausage, nice and cooked and delicious looking. Oh yes. I don't know if you can see, but it's got a little brown crisp to it now as well. Beautiful. All right, so let's, I can also see that I've got a hair in it now. That would be my hair. Yikes, let's get that out of there. All right, just pour out that onto this plate here. Careful, SpongeBob. Oh, this did say use a wooden spoon. I think you're supposed to keep the liquid in there if you can, so let me see. I don't have a, shit, I didn't bring a slotted spoon, I guess. I've got a regular spoon. I can use that. Oh, it's going to be a very tedious way to do this, though. No, fuck. Okay, I definitely lost some on the ground. Have anything else can be used as a scooping apparatus? Got my half-cup measurer. Yeah, I can see now why I wanted a slotted spoon, but... Okay, we're just going to kind of have to YOLO this a little bit. The problem is I have no surface to put this on, right? Besides just the ground. Because, yeah, I want to keep the liquid in there. I think that's the point of this. All right, we're just going to use the ground. Fuck it. Fuck it. All right. Careful, SpongeBob. We just have to use the metal spoon. That's not what I'd call efficient, but it's going to have to do. Hoi. No, okay, yeah, losing all sorts to the ground right here. Fuck, oh, I don't want leaves and sticks in here. Oh, fuck me, man. I'm just gonna eat this, whatever. Oh, some dirt in there. Okay. I don't love this strat either. Nor do I want to waste all the sausage. Maybe I can like spoon it out with this very carefully. Slowly but surely, yeah. Fine. Whew, that is spicy as well. Come on, baby. I haven't looked at chat. I'm sure you guys are suggesting something much smarter than what I'm doing, but in fairness, this is working just very slowly. Oh. Careful, SpongeBob. Trying to keep all the liquidy goodness in there because I know that we want to basically cook all the rest of the stuff in that golden, delicious liquid. Oh. Oh, don't fall, don't fall. Oh. If I was smart, I would have brought a bowl to put this in, but I am not smart. Okay, almost done, almost done. Turns out, yeah, like we literally just talked about, like, what's my cooking skill now? Like, surely I'm better at cooking now, right? I mean, in some ways I am, but is my cooking skill 300 yet? I think the past 5 minutes have probably given you that answer, huh? Should've just brought the slotted spoon like the recipe told me to. I figured, like, I'll pack light, I won't need it, I'll just YOLO it, it'll be fine. Well, we YOLO'd it. How you feeling about that now, streamer? You have some sausage on the ground, it's very sad. Okay, there we go. Ooh. Okay. Oh, shit, some just fell off again. All right, god damn it. All right, stop falling off the side. My god. Already wasted enough. Oh. Okay. Whew. We're good. Now what? Add in the sliced mushrooms and thyme leaves. Okay. Cook, stir. Oh, shit, I should have extracted the thyme, actually. All right, let's do that real quick. Oh, shit, gotta take the thyme off the leaves, right? I know there's a... Chat, what's the trick to doing this again? I know every time I work with thyme, it's always annoying because like getting these off the stem is kind of like a pain. There's a leaf. Is there some super special secret trick to getting the thyme to be like easily just extracted off these little sticks or twigs, whatever? Streamer feeding nature, yeah, great. Run your index finger and thumb up the stem. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, that does work. Good call. Good call. I knew it was something simple like that, and that's why I was asking. That was a test, and you passed, chat. Congrats. How much of this shit do I need? Stroke it? Ooh. Firmly grasp it, if you will. It says 4 sprigs of fresh thyme. Wait, is it sprigs? Wait, do I actually not even... Oh. Oh. It says sprigs, implying that we should probably just use the actual thing with the thing on still in the, I guess, the sprig or whatever it's called, right? Okay, so never mind. Okay, I guess don't have to do that anyways. All right, just kidding. We definitely just extracted all that for nothing. Oh, well. Otherwise, yeah, just pick them out when we're done cooking, yeah. Well, that's okay. We'll just throw some thyme onto the ground and it'll just kind of grow some new thyme plants or whatever. Sure. All right. Well, in that case, what do we add in here? Add in the sliced mushrooms and the thyme leaves. Okay. In the mushrooms go. Figured it must have been time for the mushrooms pretty soon. Oh, careful, SpongeBob. All right. Nice and tasty sausage juice still in there as well. This recipe, definitely not vegetarian in any way. And then the thyme sprigs. Ha! Yeah. All right, and then, wait, I think we salt this as well, because, like, especially when you're cooking mushrooms, like, gotta throw some salt in that bad bitch right there, otherwise, why are you cooking mushrooms in the first place? Okay. A little pepper as well, because, like, obviously, you don't just salt something and don't pepper it, obviously. Okay. Okay. Even seasoned the sausage dropped. What a guy. What? Oh, he seasoned the sausage that I dropped. Yeah. Look, I was like, it landed on some rocks mostly. It's probably fine. Yeah, it definitely landed on some dirt as well. But, like, it's such good sausage. I don't want to waste that shit, man. There we go. I know you can't really see it, but the mushrooms are getting covered in all that delicious sausage juice that was left over in there, so... Someone has said earlier, like, that's a lot of mushrooms. I don't know about all that. But, like, I promise you that ultimately this will reduce down into a pretty manageable amount of mushrooms. I mean, like, the mushrooms here are only taking up maybe, like, a quarter of this pot. Maybe, like, a third. But, like, it's already not excessive. And eventually it'll be down to a quarter of its current volume. Mushrooms are, like, 90% water, it turns out. Seaweed. 50% sea, 50% weed. Okay. Now, eventually we're going to have to do this juggling act, like I said, but for now I think we got to cook the mushrooms first. So once the mushrooms have browned, it says, add the shallot, aka onion, and then the garlic. Oh, I should get my little garlic crusher for when that time comes. Haboom. And then sausage. Yeah, okay. Shoot. Got these bees yellow jackets are all over the place that are trying to mess with my stuff. Very annoying. How dare wildlife be outside in the wild? Ugh. Ugh. Cheers, chat. What a beautiful aesthetic it is outside. Well, I will admit this is not the comfiest setup I've ever had when it comes to cooking, but sacrifices need to be made when you're cooking in such a beautiful place, I guess. Mushrooms are already starting to cook in a pretty satisfying way here. Let me see if I can maybe give you guys an angle that's maybe slightly better than the one you have right now. I want to keep the aestheticness of where we are, so I don't want to change it like too much, but I'm just a little worried that you can't really see anything going on down there in the pot. Let's see if we can raise you up a bit, Chad. Oh, up you go. Okay, and maybe like, it does kind of kill the view though. How about this? Maybe put you closer, like over here, and then bring you down like here, and then that kind of keeps it, right? A little bit more even. How's that, chat? What do you think of that view here? Is that acceptable? I'd say that works. Bring it out a tiny bit more. Where's Joel? True, dude. True. How about this? Joel, he can be close to his people. There you go, bud. Hey. Oh, except you can't see him right there. Hold on. Need to... Is that better? It's literally being blocked by the salt now. God damn it, dude. All right, I see the spot where it should be. It's next to this leaf right here. There we go. That's got to be good. How you doing, Joel? You chilling? You being chilling, bud? It's a little blocked by the sky. Okay, hold on. I can adjust a tiny bit more. The joys of filming all by yourself, huh? All right, there we go. That should work. All right. No, Jesus Christ. Okay. Turns out when you have to deal with like uneven ground, it's not particularly easy to do this. Looks like I should find like a rock platform to put them on top of. Yeah. Right, come on, bud. Rock, 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 rock. Okay. How about now? You chilling, Joel? You Gucci? I think you're looking pretty good now, bud. All that for Joel. All right, all right, all right. There we go. That'll work. That's good. That's good. Free Joel in the creek? No, 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 no. Joel, like we said earlier, we've established he's an indoor fish. Now you're stuck again. Oy. There's little rocks in the way that are preventing his spinning. All right, I just got to watch a full revolution. We good? You good, bud? No, you're not. This is a pain in the ass, dude. Here we go. I've got an idea. I've got Tupperware. Put the spinny platform on top of. Oh, shit. There we go. Okay, do that. Now he can spin with impunity, right? All right, there we go. Why did I not just think of that in the first place? All right. Problem solved. Okay. All right, sorry. Just went way too much time just getting Joel in position there, but he's a special dude. You gotta treat him just as special as he is. Okay, anyways, in the meantime, this has been cooking. These are smelling good and pretty much cooked at this point, so I think we've probably reached the point where it's time to move on to the next step, whatever that is, which I believe was add the onions, right? Hoi. Why do we have Joel again? What kind of question is that? What do you mean, why do we have Joel? It's like asking someone why they have a dog. Like, because they do. Because he's Joel. Official spinning fish mascot of the stream. What else is there to say? Hello? Imagine questioning just the existence of Joel. Imagine not having your own Joel. All right, so next thing we're going to do here is add the shallots and garlic, cook for a few minutes longer, and then after that we're going to add the rice, cook a bit to develop the flavor. After that we'll deglaze the pan. Okay. So we got the quote shallots. Actually just an onion, but whatever. We're going to add in there. Ow, fuck, just touched the side of the pot. Yellow jacket, go away, shoo. Go away, my God, man. Shoo. Unsurprisingly, a bunch of bugs are interested in all this food being cooked. Imagine that. Thankfully, it's not really buggy out here besides these yellow jackets, but these dudes are very persistent. Okay. You see this dude flying around my face? Bro, can you not? Shoo. Like all over the place now. Damn. Joel, help! Okay. Anyways, so let's cook up let's stir up the onions a little bit here before we toss in the garlic, because one thing we've learned from our cooking adventures over time is that the onions cook faster than the garlic, so you want to make sure that the garlic doesn't overcook, right? That we've learned. As an alumni, you wish the football team was more persistent? Are you talking about as an alumni of Purdue? I don't think any persistence is going to help this team, man. I think a new coach and a new roster and a new year is probably the only thing that'll save our results. It's pretty clear Purdue's team is just broken to its very core right now. It literally has nothing good going for it. They can be persistent all they want, but ain't going to change the fact that they suck. Is that a Yellow Jacket reference? Oh, as in like the TV show? I have watched that. Don't understand the reference though. But that was me talking about my football team, so don't mind me. Alright. We're supposed to wait till these onions have cooked through. Cook for a few minutes longer. Okay, and that doesn't say like completely cook, and eventually it'll completely cook, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay. Who was more at fault, the players or the coach? I mean, is both an acceptable answer? It's just like everything about the team is broken, man. The players are not living up to their potential. The coaches are certainly not helping them with any of their schemes, and the players just look demotivated out in the field. I guess you could say that's a coaching problem when that's the case, but who knows? I'm no expert. I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes, but I can just tell you that every facet of the team is just not looking good. All right, let's go ahead and add the garlic. Gonna use the garlic crusher courtesy of Lido. Thank you. Shout outs to her for that clutch Christmas present last year. Hoi! Turn down the heat a little bit. Okay. We should be more like Indiana football, something you never thought you would say. Yeah, no kidding, man. Why don't we live up to the standard of that powerhouse known as Indiana football? Huh. What a strange world we live in. The only problem with this like garlic crusher is like you get some garlic coom left over at the end. Delicious garlic coom, but garlic coom nonetheless. Okay. Oy. All right. I guess the rest we kind of just finger in there. Yellow dragon trying to find my eye. Bro, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? I don't have any... the food's not on my face. Just fly into the pot or something. At least that's where the delicious stuff is. I don't know why they're trying to fly into my face. That's just annoying. Bruh. All right. Good enough. Hey. All right, so let's stir that up a little bit longer, and then we will, I guess, prepare to add... What's next? I guess... Oh, right, we're going to have to deglaze the pan. Right. Okay. Prep that as well. Hope I'm not blocking Joel. Sorry if I am. You good, Joel? You good, bud? All right, thank the gods I'm sticking to the fresh garlic. Every cooking video you see on the internet seems to only use that nasty-ass jarlic. Yeah, to me, it's just like, I've never understood what the point of getting the jar would be. I mean, I guess if you're just extra lazy, but like, to me, it's not like garlic is hard to extract. Like, getting raw garlic and turning it into the, I don't know, the consistency you need to cook with is like, not like it's hard, or it's not like it takes forever, so. I mean, okay, it takes a little bit, but especially when you're bad at cooking, but I will admit, especially with the garlic crusher, yeah, I don't understand why you would ever buy the jar stuff. That is a little odd. I mean, I'm sure the jar stuff tastes fine, but at least to me, it's just like, is it really worth saving that 2 minutes? There's no denying that, generally speaking, the fresher the ingredients, the tastier it is. I think that's a pretty standard rule of thumb. The aliens are going to look back at the stream one day and be like, people were fucking weird, grown-ass men talking to themselves in the woods with stuffed animals. Hey, you know what? Not only, number one, is what I'm doing right now, like, I have no shame about. I love doing shit like this. I enjoy doing shit like this. I would never not do shit like this just because I'd be embarrassed to do it. And number two, calling Joel a stuffed animal, how dare you? Joel is my companion. My fluffy friend. How fucking dare you? What's up, Coral Maker? Greetings, world record holder? Yeah, about that. We'll talk about that more tomorrow, but I'd be careful with using that title. Yeah. Okay. I think we're officially ready to deglaze the pot. There's nothing to scrape off the bottom, unfortunately. I get the feeling we probably should have had this hotter the entire time, but oh well. Joel catching all the strays? No, Joel's not catching it. Oh, as in like, yeah, he was catching, yeah, exactly. Calling Joel a stuffed animal. Bro, how dare you? All right, well, there's really not much to deglaze. I guess I just cranked the heat up a little bit, so hopefully this will lead to maybe something on the bottom of the pot, but I think in a perfect world, I'd be using like a cast iron thing for this because it'd make more that sticky goodness at the bottom of the pan, but oh well. One day we're gonna find out Joel was just a charlatan trying to get chicks? Bro, now Joel is catching some strays. Bro. Let him vibe, he's just spinning, all right? This fucking guy. What's the movie called where the dude has a volleyball as a friend? Wilson! Castaway. Yeah. It's streamer's lover, Joel. Is you your pet lover? Like what? Okay. Doesn't Joel have a Joel? Of course, Joel has Joelle. I didn't bring her along just because it'd be a little space, a little bit tight on space, but Joel's got his own companion as well. Yeah. All right, so we're going to deglaze this pot with how much wine? I think it's at half a cup, but let me reconfirm that. Dude, there's so many yellow jackets flying around. Those are really annoying. 1 cup of dry white wine. Yeah, so when it comes to like tiny little mini black boxed wine, they didn't have much to choose from. They had Chardonnay, Chardonnay, and Chardonnay. So is Chardonnay considered a dry white wine? I don't know, but it's what we're going to use. Whatever it is exactly, I'm sure it'll get the job done well enough. What's up, Trippy? What am I making? We're making some risotto. We're attempting to make risotto. I shouldn't say we are because that implies I'm going to make it successfully, but I've never made risotto before, and I've never even really... If I've had risotto in my life, I don't remember it, so we're testing the limits of what you can cook in the outdoors. I'd call that dry-ish, kind of. It's not sickeningly sweet, so yeah, that's fine. That'll do, pig, that'll do. Chug? No. We're already enjoying some delicious scotch, all right? I should have that scotch in frame, actually. Adds to the mystique, if you will. Ooh. All right, so we're going to mix this up, and then once this is mixed, and I guess... Oh, shit, we were definitely supposed to add the rice first. Well, too late for that. All right, whatever, fuck it. I think what we're supposed to do is, like, have the rice brown a little bit before it started... like cooking, like getting moist, but it's a little late at this point to do that. So, all right, we're gonna add our arborio rice. I did pre-measure it in advance to know the exact amount we needed, so we just pour this entire thing in. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, I don't know how much of a difference that would make, but it does sort of suck that the rice is gonna be just, I don't know, soggy from the start, but whatever. Is it gonna ruin the entire dish? I certainly hope not. Wine soup with rice. I mean, it's gonna it'll get there. It'll get there, all right? Eventually, we're gonna add some liquid, and then it'll come together in theory, maybe. Okay. Now, I think we definitely want to raise the heat now, because now if we're cooking some rice, we want to get this water a bit hotter. Eventually, all this rice should absorb the moisture and just puff up into, you know, cooked rice. That'll take a bit, because, like, basically, once we've gotten to this step, now we're going to get to the point where we're slowly but surely adding a little more liquid at a time, a little more liquid at a time, a little more liquid at a time, and eventually, after, like, adding liquid at a time for the next, like, 40 minutes, it's going to be done. And we're just about to the point where we're gonna have to start our juggling act, where we add that back on to warm it back up, and then pour it into here, and yeah, it's gonna be a whole thing. Smells very white winey right now, that's for sure. Okay. No, excited for that World Series. Think LA is gonna take it? Hell yeah! I'm such a Dodgers fan. I'm a big Shohei Ohtani fan, even if I'm not exactly a fan of the Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani is still my main man. So. Who do I think will win? Who knows, man. I mean, I think it's coin flip at this point. I think both teams are insanely good. If you put a gun to my head and force me to pick, yeah, probably the Dodgers, but I'd say it's pretty close to even money, to be honest. Those are two pretty powerhouse teams right now. Let Ohtani and Judge oil wrestle for it. Oh, my. For free? I mean, shit. I'm not going to say no. Fuck the Yankees. Yeah, but I don't know. The Dodgers as an organization, it's like I wish I could hate them, but everything about their organization is like kind of respectable. The only thing that I can easily hate on when it comes to the Dodgers is their fan base, because their fan base has always been like just ridiculously obnoxious, especially when I would go to like Angel games as a kid, and if they were playing the Dodgers, like a ton of Dodgers fans would show up, and they were always just like as obnoxious as they could possibly be. The problem is the only other team whose fans like levels of obnoxiousness rivaled the Dodgers was the Yankees. They were obnoxious as fuck too. So, yeah, I don't know. I equally hate both of their fan bases, but the Dodgers team itself is like, I don't know. It's mostly likable dudes, and even the Yankees have mostly likable dudes on their team. So it's like, can I really hate them that much? I don't know. I know I'm supposed to as a baseball fan, but like, how do you not like Juan Soto? Like, come on. How do you not like Aaron Judge? Like, come on. Anything more obnoxious than Cowboys or Alabama? Yeah, Alabama fans probably take the cake for highest levels of obnoxious, but also the most satisfying levels of like schadenfreude whenever they lose, which has thankfully been much more common this season. All right, I think it's time we officially take this off the heat real quick, and then we're going to add the... a ton of space in this little setup. We're going to add the liquid back over to the flame, so that way we can heat that up again. Because I'm assuming, like, the reason it wants us to heat up the... like the pumpkin plus the chicken broths combo here, so that way when you pour it into the pot, it doesn't immediately cool everything off and stop the cooking process, right? You want it to be continuing to cook the whole time. Oh, hello. Flames under there, why? Oh, like a little leaf down there, yeah, whatever. So yeah, let's get this simmering so that when we pour it into the pot, it doesn't just immediately halt the cooking process. Put the lid on there so that way hopefully it stays at least sort of warm. Vols took him down this weekend, yeah, so pretty sick. You know they're just going to win out and still make the playoffs and nothing will really change, but nice to see Alabama looking at least a little more mortal this year compared to years past. Think that's hot enough already? I'd rather be a little more thorough. MLB got their best case lineup for the World Series to make the most money. Yeah, you know Rob Manfred's just like absolutely over the moon for this matchup. If they could just be this matchup every single year, then he'd be a happy camper. Cooking on Yojamba, yes sir. Back to DMT. Back to Yojamba. I'm getting ZG buffed right now. After I cook here, gonna get my food buff, get my ZG buff, and pour it the fuck out of here. All right. Good news is, I think as we pour more and more of this into the main pot, it'll be easier to keep warm because it'll be like a smaller amount of liquid that we then have to reheat, right? It's a fucking elixir. Yeah, we're cooking our Zanza right now, our Zanza elixir, exactly. There's a little tiny leaf in there that's on fire. I don't know how well you can see that, but no, it's not just tiny leaf. That's like a leaf. It'll char down to nothing eventually, I guess. I have my cooking glasses on. Must have forgot those at home. Sorry. All right. We'll call this warm enough, I guess. So, well, I mean, ideally I want this like, can I just fucking crank this up real quick? I want to crank it up and just get it super hot so that way it's like, I want to get to the point where it's like boiling so that way it keeps its heat for a while. Wasp adds ink. I'm kind of surprised no wasps have flown into here. Is a yellow jacket the same thing as a wasp? I always traditionally think of wasps as much more vicious. I don't really know. These guys aren't like stinging me or anything. They're just like kind of just flying around and just being generally annoying. All right, come on. Oh, I'm seeing the beginnings of potential bubbles of boiling. I know, yeah, watched pot never boils, blah, 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 right? But like, I'm watching the fuck out of this, and I think it's going to boil soon. I've got like 2 hours of usable daylight left. In theory, that's plenty, but like, I'd rather not cut this too close. I got the propane stove like cranked up super high here, so I'm not going to burn this mixture, obviously, so come on, baby, do your thing. 2 hours in a Dali stream, we're fucked. Nah, I mean, it'd be, the day I end up having a cooking stream that lasts like an hour and a half is the day I've officially run out of like creative ideas. Any dish that's worth cooking is worth taking 3 hours to cook. Otherwise it wouldn't be a Clueless Bachelor cooking stream. The Latin name for wasps is fire. Vespula vulgaris, given they are such dicks. I don't speak Latin, so I don't know what that's supposed to translate to, but sure. Sounds dangerously close to vulpera, though. That's a little cringe. Could be the plate of food. Yeah, I mean, like in a perfect world, maybe I should like cover this, I guess. Is that something I can do? I should like do that. There. All right, come on, man. Can you go faster? The problem is like the longer I wait, the longer it's going to take for that to reheat again and watch it harder. Yeah, I know, but this is the struggle of watching, like having to alternate between these two. I mean, the good news is, like I said, I'm trying to get this to a boil, so that way it's going to retain its heat long enough to maybe get a couple of in and out sort of things. What's up, our grandma? What am I cooking? We are cooking, yeah, I should have done the recipe thing in advance. We are cooking risotto. Trying to make some, specifically, it's going to be sausage, mushroom, pumpkin risotto. And at the moment, we're heating up the liquid that we're going to be then pouring into this main pot that I don't think you can see down here that contains all the rest of the risotto stuff. Got a lid. I got sort of a lid. Sort of. Not one that perfectly fits on top of here. I bought this from Goodwill for like $4, so it didn't come with a lid. Oh, it's taking so long to boil, dude. I'm just tempted to crank this up even more. I'm going to just do it. I don't know how high this goes, but fuck it. We're going to scorch the shit out of the bottom of this pot. I am, yeah. It's SalvDali, SalvDali. You too. It's a dude there. He's not a child. Get out of here. Shoo. It's fine. That was actually my first human interaction of this entire stream. He was like here with like a canvas and shit. He must have been like painting. That's cute. I can't judge. I'm doing something equally as cringe. He's not sniping, no. New follower, yeah. I always hate it when they ask, like, oh, what's your channel name? I'm just like, I'd rather you not watch. Now that you've seen me IRL, now we're making it weird. Just don't, okay? As soon as you see me IRL, you're no longer ever allowed to watch my stream. As soon as I've seen you face to face, like, it just makes this whole weird dynamic. He's not the cop. Now, if you saw this dude, he was like the least looking cop dude ever. He had like the little bucket hat on. He had this like easel he was carrying with him. A little portly, a little chubby. You know, nothing wrong with that. Okay, there we go. Now we're going, baby. All right, perfect. Now we're going to take this off the flame. All right, as we got that boiling. Cool. Ideally, we get this leaf out of here because we don't really need that. So, okay, well. Okay, turn that down. Now we have the pot back on. Oy. All right. All right. So we add just like a bit at a time, right? A bit at a time, so that way we can let the rice absorb it. And we just constantly stir this now for like the next, probably, I mean, the recipe says 40 minutes. We'll see how true that ends up being. All right, so the liquid almost immediately starts boiling, which is good news because it means it's still hot, right? Cool, cool. Oh, that's definitely an actual leaf that flew in there at some point. I think that's being cooked inside there. All right, we just got a real tree leaf inside of there to add extra texture and flavor. Okay. By the way, for those that tune in late, the thing that's going to make this a pumpkin risotto is the fact that this little liquid mixture right here is a combination of chicken stock and pumpkin puree. So that's where the source of the pumpkin is, if you're confused as to where the pumpkin is coming from. Here's the forearm workout. Yeah, exactly. Are we supposed to stir constantly? I don't know. How does risotto work? What a classic clip. Oh, the police one. Dude, to this day, I refuse to watch that clip. I'm just remembering that, like, it happening in real time. Like, I can't. Like, it's too cringe, man. It's too cringe. I'm glad other people enjoy it, though. How many views does that clip have now? I've never actually checked, because once again, I don't want to watch it, but it must be one of the more popular ones. Yes, when you've made it? Well. Turn down the heat maybe a little bit. All right, so I assume this is not like going to be a fine science. I assume this is basically going to be a situation where once the liquid looks like it's mostly boiled off, we'll just pour in more, and then we'll pour in more, and then eventually when we run out of liquid, I guess we're done. 7,300? Jesus Christ. Well, that's, I mean, I guess I'm always down for a clip, but at the same time, Jesus. So we're still in just basically add a ladleful at a time, cook until evaporated, do this until all the stock's been used up and the rice is tender, about 20 to 25 minutes. It says it's going to be that quick. I doubt that, but okay. And then once done, return the sausage to the pot along with the butter, Parmigiano. We still got to grate that. Parsley and sage, seasoned to taste. I don't have any parsley, whatever, fuck that. Seasoned to taste with salt and pepper. Okay. Good vibes clip. First time seeing that clip, damn. That was from the classic Cooking Inside a Van stream. That's a classic, dude. Certified hood classic. Is there revenue generated by my clips? I don't think from clips individually, no, because I don't think clips don't have ads, right? I don't think that's a thing, but it just generates interest in the channel. That's also just a fun. Clips are a fun way to just snapshot quite literally snapshot like the highlights of the stream, right? Just like kind of helps immortalize some of those iconic stream moments. So it doesn't like they're not directly monetized, but they're just good to have as like a kind of like stream historian sort of thing. Just had to hunt that moose on the parking garage. It was a deer, okay, I get it right. It was venison that I had. How high is the heat supposed to be? It's probably not supposed to be as high as it is right here, but I feel like if anything, every time I pour in this liquid, it's going to cool it down. Okay, that liquid's mostly evaporated, so we're going to add in more. Oh, careful, careful, careful. Oh, didn't leave myself a lot of space in this little area right here. In a perfect world, I would be doing this in a full-sized kitchen, but what's the fun in that, right? Careful, SpongeBob, yeah. Thankfully on the ground here, this is like relatively stable. The rocks on the ground kind of help to distribute the weight a little bit better. So believe it or not, it's actually less wobbly than when it's sitting on the table. Oh, how you doing, chat? How's the vibes? That's a sun's still got, like I said, yeah, maybe like an hour or two left of daylight in it. So Joel's just chilling back there. What a comfy view in the background there, right? I wish more of the forest here had like the super vibrant autumn colors to it, but I will say that part back there, that is nice. This looks awesome. Hell yeah, dude. Hopefully it's gonna taste awesome as well. Fingers crossed. Shit, that pumpkin butter that we made earlier, by the way, it's just sitting out here the whole time. I guess I'll have to reheat that at least a little bit. Ah, fuck, we got bread too that I need to toast so that way I can slather the pumpkin bread over it, or the pumpkin butter over ideally like toasted bread, right? Kind of forgot about that part. Shit. I see 2 other human beings approaching. Okay. If they talk to me, know that I'm just doing this to pretend like I'm normal. Okay? Okay. Hey, what's up, DG? Let's see what the net's up, dude. Hope your noise didn't disturb you. I didn't hear you at all, man. Just doing some collecting for your PhD. Oh, that's what you're doing. Cool, dude. I thought you were painting. I thought your stuff you were like maybe like out here like painting the scenery, but admittedly that makes more sense. I'll give you that. But hell yeah, dude. It was like a beautiful day out here, like absolutely beautiful to come out here and do anything out here. And if anything, I hope my noise wasn't disturbing you. I didn't hear you at all, but I'm the one talking at like conversational volume, right? Wish there were some Midwestern families being loud as hell in the background. Sorry, I mean, if you wanted that, you've had plenty of outdoor cooking streams in the past where we've had that experience, right? I think the last one in the park, right? The carnitas comes to mind, as well as the one we did here earlier this year too, right? We had the people in the background. That's okay, in a wholesome way, in a fun way, right? It ended up being kind of adorable, actually. Stir this up a little bit. Oh, you're collecting some bugs. Oh, okay. Interesting. That's fascinating, man. It also sounds much more legitimate and less sketchy than some dude out here cooking risotto by the creek. So I commend you for being much more legitimate than I am. Yeah, I just saw those 2 people. Yeah, they're fine. They're doing their thing. All right. Maybe it wasn't time to add in that extra little shot of liquid there, but that's okay. Maybe crank up the heat a little bit, let that boil off. Bugs, I might have a spot if you need yellow jackets. Yeah, exactly. If you want to survey the yellow jackets here, I've got like 5 of them that just like won't leave me alone, so they're all yours. Also, what's up, Espresso Ducks? How am I doing? We're chilling, man. We're cooking out in the woods, enjoying some beautiful scenery, enjoying some like late afternoon kind of colors, vibes. Dude, this time of year, this time of day is just like peak comfiness, man. Like the sun is hitting like the colors on the trees perfectly. It was a little warm out earlier, but now it's fine. It was never that bad in the shade here, but it was annoyingly warm for like a fall day earlier, but now it's like, it's still warmer than I'd prefer, but now it's pretty nice. French onion soup? No. We're making risotto, actually. Now, keep in mind, I've never made risotto before, so if what you're looking at right here doesn't look like risotto, then that's understandable because I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to making risotto, but I'm trying. I'm a little worried that the rice is going to like overcook and become too mushy. That's my main concern right now because it just feels like this is a lot of liquid we have to boil off here. And I mean, I'm following the recipe, so I'm going to have to trust it, right? But I'm just a little concerned that by the time we finish this, and by the time, because we have a lot of this liquid left, like at least like 2/3 of it left. By the time it's all boiled off, like, is the rice going to just be like mushy and overdone? I hope not. Mushy rice is disappointing? Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't want to get to that point, right? So like, but at the same time, the recipe says like, well, make sure you've added all the liquid at some point, and like, well, there's only one way to get rid of it, right? You just have to, you gotta wait for it to boil off. Hey, what's up, Bruce? Welcome, dude. Risotto soup? Well, in theory, this will boil off. I don't know. I mean, the heat's not a problem. I can tell you that's, I don't know. The problem is like, if you turn the heat down, then it's gonna, it just, A, it won't boil off as fast, and B, it's just gonna slow cook longer, right? So I'm not an expert as to what the heat level should be like, but let's see what the level of the rice is right now as far as like how done it is. Okay, it still has a ways to go, so we're doing okay right now, but I'm just concerned for the rice, like if we do this to it like another 20 minutes. Risotto's kind of mushy in general. Is it? I mean, fair, okay. Like I've said, I don't think I've ever had risotto, or if I have, I don't remember it, so it's not something that I have really like a good sense of like what it should look like once it's done. Someone hasn't watched Gordon talk about risotto? No, I haven't. Need to vigorously stir it. Fucking hell. All right, need to vigorously stir it the whole time. All right. There you go. Uh, 20 more minutes to go, I guess. What's that, animal in the background? What do you mean? What, Joel? I hope there's no other animals in the background besides Joel. All right, so liquid actually is mostly boiled off at this point, so I think we might be able to add a bit more now. Now, eventually I think this is supposed to thicken up as well. Like, I know eventually we're going to add some cheese and some other things that should also probably help it thicken, but at least for now, it's probably more liquidy than it ultimately will be. I would assume the fact that the little liquid that we're adding right now to the mixture has pumpkin in it is also going to help thicken it up, right? Like as the pumpkin cooks more, it should thicken up more. At least that's the idea I have in my head. Apparently the cops finally found me. Officers. The stirring makes it thick, the starches? Okay, all right. Oh man, the setup not great for my back, I'm gonna say. Oh man, it's a lot of hunching. All right. Sirens, the soundtrack of America. Yeah, that kind of unfortunately ruins the idea, or like the illusion that I'm just in the middle of nowhere in the forest. Yeah, it turns out not that far away from civilization, but I like that this park has the aesthetic of something that looks like it's in the middle of nowhere. Spread my legs real wide. Oh, how you doing, chat? You guys enjoying? I can give you guys a little close-up if you really want it. Hope I made enough risotto for the officers, yeah, to bribe the police from arresting me. I don't think I'm doing anything illegal right now, though, am I? I'm not, well, okay, I'm not sure if alcohol is technically allowed here, but Usually when it comes to public parks, even if it's a technically no alcohol policy, generally speaking, no one bothers you unless you're being like obnoxious, right? So I'm not so worried about it. Let you know if you want some. If I need some bugs to add some crunch. I think we're good on protein for now. We made a shitload of sausage right there under the plate, but you know what? If I'm feeling short on protein at the end, it's good to know that we've got a backup option. What's the tastiest bug? I don't know if any of them are tasty. I've never been brave enough. What can I say? Open a button on my shirt? Bro, you gotta pay more than that. I'm not doing that for free. Imagine a non-sub asking me to open up the button on my shirt. Fucking poor boys. Alright, am I doing it correctly? Am I constantly stirring? Is this how I'm supposed to do it? Would Mr. Gordon Ramsay approve? Probably ants? I don't know, ants, like... So when I was a kid, I remember being a kid, and when you would squash ants as a kid, it kind of had like a smell when you squashed them. Kind of horrifying when I think back on it now, but as a kid, you kind of didn't care at all. I remember when I would squash ants, they would have a certain smell to it. It wasn't a particularly pleasant smell. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. So I'm assuming they would taste somewhat similar to what they smelled like when you kind of smushed them, and I don't know how I feel about that one. What's up, Moonkip's coming in top of the Prime sub, as well as a Sverkson. Do it? What am I doing? I don't know, but you had a year sub. Thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. Got that exciting Recklessness icon there. Appreciate it, Ben. Your sub will go directly to the Risotto fund. Thank you, dude. All right, I think we're about ready to add some more liquid to that bad boy. Oh, the button on my shirt. Shit. He did just sub, didn't he? All right, for what it's worth, I'm not that cheap of a date, but... All right, this is not like a pure orange undershirt, but there you go, man. All right. Your $5 has earned you like 5 minutes of open button. How about that? All right. So this is the point where, in theory, maybe I should probably consider reopening or reheating the pumpkin liquid. But like, I think it's still pretty warm, especially since we've had this covered. I think we're still okay. Plus, like, this pot is like plenty hot, so I'm not super worried about the temperature at the moment. If we had extra, as long as we don't stop like this boil that we got going, I think we're good. Maybe this is not going to be as annoying as I thought it would be. Oh, shirtless deal next. It's really weird to me that Twitch has such a weird paranoia about lack of clothing. I mean, I understand the whole booba streamer phenomenon and why that's been very stigmatized, but it wouldn't be that. I mean, it'd make more sense if it was summer right now, but it wouldn't be that out of the question to just be like somebody walking around with their shirt off right now in the background, just enjoying the outdoor vibes. I mean, like, let's put it this way. It's warm enough to the point where you can absolutely take your shirt off right now and feel comfortable doing it, but I mean, I guess technically you'd say if I'm near a body of water, maybe Twitch would be okay with it, but it's really dumb that, like, I don't know, people just in general, I guess, are kind of weird about the whole, like, oh, can't be showing male nipple, not on my Christian stream. Oh, no. Shirtless deal next. Yeah, that's going to take a lot more subs. That's going to take about a week's worth of subs to make up for the week that I'm banned. Is risotto supposed to look like this? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. Like, I get the feeling it's going to be probably a bit more... I mean, like, I'm not saying it looks bad right now, but it doesn't... I don't know. It just looks like soup right now, which, like... I mean, I would eat it. I'm sure it's fine, but, like... Maybe once we add the sausage and once we add the, like, the cheese, maybe it's going to come together a bit more. But I'm going to keep it real right now. Right now, it just kind of looks like just mushroom rice slop. Tasty mushroom rice slop, but slop nonetheless. There's no such thing as a gendered nipples. It's 2024. Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. I need to ask what gender my nipples are. Need to ask them. Slupa says you're going on 3 years and you never got a button. Well, you never asked. I don't know. It's amazing what I'll do for $5. You just gotta test your limits, I guess. Dance, monkey, dance. Should thicken and become almost like a macaroni texture once the cheese is added. Okay, I'll take your word for it, I guess. Yeah, at some point, like, shit, I probably should have done this earlier. I need to grate a bunch of Parmesan cheese because that needs to get added in once this entire process is close to finished. I guess we'll just panic and do it at the last minute. I mean, I got the Parmesan block out. I got the cheese grater, so I should be able to, I mean, I don't need like half a cup, so it shouldn't take that long. You asked for a lot? A lot? Did you, though? Did you? Doubting that one. Okay, I think we're just about ready to add like another another shot of liquid. Well, are we? All right, give it a whirl. The recipe does say to like let each like little round of liquid like essentially just boil off and let it all evaporate. I don't know how. I mean, like, because you can tell like it's not liquidy anymore. It's more mush now. I think we're good to add like another little shot of liquid. I think we really only have like 2 more pours of this left, and then that's it. So that's good news. I was really, really optimistic. I could even pour all of this in right now, but I think I'll split this into 2 more pours. I could have added all of it, but trying to do this right. I don't know. I'm not sure what the right way to do it is, since I've never done this before, but I would assume the slower you do it, probably the better the process is, right? What is the liquid? So we're making sausage, mushroom, pumpkin risotto. So the actual liquid that we're adding is a combination of chicken stock and pumpkin puree that we kind of cooked and simmered over the fire earlier, or well, over the stove, whatever you want to call it. So it's supposed to be like a fall-themed dish to go along with the fall aesthetic out here, right? And I'll be curious to see how it tastes. I'm not really sure what the taste is going to be like. I mean, like, now that I think about it, I'm almost wishing that I maybe would have gone with the sweet sausage instead of the spicy sausage. I'm sure the spicy sausage will be fine, but the only issue is that, like, I feel like most of this dish is like a relatively savory dish. Like, there's really been no sweetness added to this outside of, I guess, the pumpkin, but there's no sugar or anything like that added. So, like, I'll be curious to see how well the spicy sausage works instead of the potentially, like, could have gone with the sweet sausage instead. Nice, never done that. Usually just making mushroom risotto alongside some protein. Yeah. I mean, I've never made risotto either. I kind of just decided to YOLO it, and I wanted to make a pumpkin-themed dish, and I came up with this one. Is it going to be good or not? I don't know. We're going to find out. Sooner than later, I guess. You've got a spicy sausage for me? Oh, my. What's up, Espresso Ducks? You're saying, appreciate the IRL streams, though. It's very nice to have a balance of the classic pumpage, and this is always great content. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, admittedly, it's been a while since I've done a cooking stream. I mean, I did an IRL stream somewhat recently with the NASCAR race stuff, but it has sort of been a while since we did cooking. I think the last cooking stream I did, I guess, was the one at the park where we made the carnitas, right? Yeah, that one. Yeah, I've done less cooking streams this year compared to last one, just because, well, it's been for a few reasons. The main reason is just like, I had like a bunch of like fun, creative ideas lined up for last year, and like it's easy to come up with a bunch of ideas when you've done only a few of these, and like there's all sorts of ideas that you haven't done. But eventually you get to the point where you've kind of come up with all the obvious, like, kind of fun things to do. So I've done less just because I don't want to force it. I don't want to do a cooking stream just for the sake of it, right? I only want to do them when, like, I feel like I've got a good idea to make them fun. But yeah, I agree. When we get to do the comfy ones, when we find a fun thing to do, like this, I would say, then, yeah, I like doing them, man. It's a lot of work, admittedly. It's a lot of work and time and preparation and money, but usually by the end of the process, I feel like it was worth it. Okay, I think we're getting pretty close to being able to add the rest of the liquid. It is thickening up, though. It is getting nice and, I don't know, whatever you want to call this. Looking pretty good. CG Island, sipping the Zanza. Yes, sir. Just making ourselves a little sheen of Zanza real quick. Although I guess sheens are green, right? Maybe we're making swiftness of Zanza since this is more yellowy. My favorite song, Dana Paula, Mundo de Caramello. Thank you later. Yeah. Thank God. This is one of the rare IRL streams where there's, for the most part, no one around. Like, yeah, we've seen a few people, but like, for the most part, we can just sit here in peace, do our weird thing. Not that I mind talking to our bug expert in chat. He's cool. He's cool. He gets a pass. All right, I think it's time we add our last little shot of liquid. I don't know, Chad, am I doing this right? Like, is this what it's supposed to look like? I'm not exactly a risotto expert, so I can't really tell if what I'm doing here is quote-quote accurate or not. There you go, last little liquid. No bears / snakes around? What do you think, I'm living in the middle of Alaska? Like, bro, I'm in the middle of some random-ass park in rural Indiana. Not a whole lot of wildlife here besides squirrels and birds and bugs. That's about it. Mountain lion. Yeah, not a lot of mountains for the lions to exist in out in Indiana. If you say a small hill, you would call that a mountain out here. No T-Rexes. There could be. I don't know. There's Joel. Does he count? He's doing his thing. It's nice and bubbly there, I'll say that. I think at this point we'll maybe turn down the heat a tiny bit. It is getting thick though, and I know this because like it's starting to like, get more bubbly than it is like, I don't know, you can tell, you can just see it, right? It's getting more bubbly than it is liquidy. That doesn't make sense. It's getting thicker to the point where it's almost like a pastier consistency compared to just like a pure liquid consistency. You get it, right? Thick, yeah. It's adding extra C's as we go, precisely. You hear the bubbling. Yeah, exactly. You kind of, I'm sure, like just audibly, you can kind of know what's going on right now. It smells good, I'll say that. I'm curious to see what it's like when we add all the extra stuff. Speaking of the extra stuff, I do want to, let's see, let me read the next instructions for what we're doing here, because I think we're pretty close to adding just the rest of the stuff that we were supposed to have in there. So do this until all the stock has been used up and the rice is tender, about 20 to 25 minutes. Sure, once done, return the sausage to the pot along with butter, Parmesan, I don't have any parsley, whatever, sage, season to taste with salt and pepper, and then it's just done. All right. I think in the meantime, while we let this cool down, I guess we'll probably reheat the pumpkin butter. Oh shit, we gotta toast some bread as well. Shit, so I gotta slice up some bread. Yeah. All right, I can do that. All right, well, at this point, I don't know how much I should let this cook down. Like, is this enough? I think at this point, I'm gonna start doing, let me turn the heat down a little bit more. And then I'm going to grate the Parmesan and, I mean, that's kind of the only thing I have to prep here for the rest of it. I think the rest of it's good to go. Maybe, I guess we need sage, I just pull the leaves off, right? It's kind of easy. Okay, chat, all right, come back over here. I'm gonna rebutton the shirt because I don't want the mic flopping around. You got your 5 minutes and more anyways. All right. Fall aesthetic right there. Just taste it. Is the rice done? You're saying I should actually taste things to like see if they're, while I cook? Fine. It's like nearly done. It's like 90% of the way there. It's pretty good. Okay. All right. So, yeah, let's grate some cheese real quick. I got a cheese grater with me in here somewhere. There you are. I believe we need just half a cup of grated Parmesan, so not like that much. Let's see here. Yeah, half a cup of grated Parmigiano. Oy. There's a clearing down the river that's absolutely gorgeous with fall leaves. Is there? Ooh. As in, I'm assuming that direction and not this direction, right? I mean, I guess you can't really walk that way, so, okay. Well, we could explore it at, like, the end of the stream. I'm down for that. All right, Parmesan, yeah. I'm a Synthex right now. I need to be at a Pilla as far as the thickness is concerned. All right, fair. All right. So, let's get a half a cup out of this. I do have a half cup measure right here, but I think I'll just eyeball this. Not that hard to just see what a decent amount of cheese looks like. Yeah, that's definitely more than that, but yeah, it's fine. Whatever, close enough. All right. So, just need that, and how much sage do we need here? 2 tablespoons. Just to chop this, I guess? Oh, okay, probably should have done that earlier then. Once again, just gonna eyeball that. Looks about right. I don't really know how fine sage is supposed to be when it's chopped. I'll just kind of do a little of this, whatever. Will the full bottle of Scotch be finished by the end of the stream? Well, considering I have to drive back from here, no, that's probably a poor idea. Also, drinking an entire bottle of Scotch in one day, number one, is probably going to kill you, and number two is a waste of good Scotch. Generally speaking, whenever I drink Scotch, I don't have more than 3 glasses in like a single sitting. Not because I couldn't, but just because it's kind of hard to appreciate the flavor of it once like you are past a certain level of intoxication. Like Scotch to me, I don't drink Scotch just because like, oh, it gets me drunk. Like, I mean, you could, it does, but Scotch is good because of the flavor. Like if Scotch didn't have any alcohol in it but tasted the same, I would still drink it all the same. It's just amazing just to drink it. So, it's not worth drinking usually after like 3 glasses just because like then it's hard to appreciate it enough. I know that sounds snobby, but like that's what like cheap beer and cheap whiskey's for. It's more of a celebration drink. Yeah, or just like a chill out drink, you know? Okay, so once done, return the sausage to the pot. Okay, then we'll do butter. We just got the whole ass butter thing right here. Parmesan, we got that. Parsley, we don't. Sage, season to taste with salt and pepper. Okay, cool. Well, I think we're about to finish this off. This went kind of weirdly smoothly. I guess we can't say it's a success until we actually eat it, but I will say outside of like, I guess the stream kind of disconnecting earlier, it's been weirdly lacking in disasters so far. All right. There's still time though. Oh yeah, I got time. Okay. So, turn the sausage to the pot. Okay. Like so. And then the butter. Haboom. The Parmigiano and the sage. That's a lot of Parmesan. I'll admit probably more than half a cup. It's definitely more than half a cup, but a little extra cheese never killed anybody, right? All right, mix her up. See what happens. Oh yeah. Risotto is one of those things that seems harder than it is. I mean, so yeah, people earlier were saying like, oh, risotto, that's quite the challenge. All right, good luck, streamer. And like, I'll admit that Oh, yeah, okay, wow, I definitely let this get way too hot in the bottom. Okay, I was literally about to say, like, oh, this didn't seem so bad, and then, yeah, I let it get, like, I'm not gonna say burnt, but a little crispy on the bottom there. But, okay, that being said, oh, yeah, all right. Probably should have been, I should have prepped all the stuff in advance and should have still continued to stir it this whole time, but anyways, ooh, man. I will say, though, all right, can you tell how thick this is getting now? Now I'm understanding. I was a little worried earlier, like, is it going to get thick enough? Is it going to happen? But, yeah, now I'm not worried. Okay, there we go. Yeah, now we're approaching critical levels of thickness right now. Oh, my, yeah, adding that cheese definitely, oh. All right. I'd say probably give this another 5 minutes over the heat, and then we're probably just chilling. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah. All right, all right. Oh, man. You know, it's funny, like, before I added all that stuff in, I was like, well, it looks and smells fine. I don't know, nothing special, but, like, it smells all right. But now that I just added the sausage and the cheese, oh, baby, now this is smelling fire, baby. Oh, man. Okay, okay. It's done, just eat it. Well, we'll let it cool off for a bit, and when we do, we're going to heat up the pumpkin butter and toast a little bread, so that way we can have our quote-quote garlic bread. Can you hear this, like, when I scrape the bottom, by the way? Oh, yeah. That's pretty nice right there. Turn off the heat? No, I think it needs just like a tiny bit more. Tiny bit more. Okay, yeah, we'll turn it off now. You're right. Oh, wait, shit, I wanted to keep it on so I could, whatever, I'll just relight it in here in a sec. I do want to reheat the pumpkin butter a bit. That being said, yeah. Oh, well, actually, well, okay, yeah, it just occurred to me that's supposed to, like, you're supposed to add salt and pepper to taste, but let me taste it. Oh, man, this is rough on my back, dude. Oh. Oh, that's good as is. Absolutely no reason to add anything else to that. Nah, we are chilling, man. We are chilling. All right, all right, all right. I mean, I've never had risotto, but that definitely looks like the texture you're going for, right? The rice is cooked well. I was worried the rice would be overcooked and mushy, but no, that's good. That's good. Looks Monka in 720p. I can tell you in full-on real-life eyeball HD. It's pretty good to me. All right, so we're going to take this off the heat for a bit. Let that cool down just a bit. And while we do that, we're going to reheat the pumpkin butter. We also, well, actually, need to toast bread as well, because we need to have the bread toasted that we're going to spread the pumpkin butter over. So, which one do we do first? Probably reheat the pumpkin butter real quick. All right. Take that over here. I shouldn't have turned off the heat, though, because now we got to relight it, but it's all right. Through the magic of lighters, anything's possible. Yep. All right. The pumpkin butter has just been patiently waiting off the side here the entire time. At this point, it does look a little goopy, but then again, I suppose that kind of is what it's supposed to look like, so that's fine. All right. I'm probably going to be impatient and just crank up the heat sort of high, so that way I can get this heated nice and quickly. Because obviously I want to try the risotto while it's still hot. A master of flame shock, yeah. Master of clicking the little plastic button and letting the flame turn on. Something of a expert at that. Okay. Oh, and then, yeah, okay, this actually makes sense. In the meantime, while the pumpkin butter is reheating, let's slice up some bread. What is that? That is the pumpkin butter that we made earlier that we're going to put over the bread we're about to toast. With our... Okay, so the idea here was I was going to make, like, quote, garlic bread. Originally, I was thinking, like, it was like the fancy Italian theme, right? And the idea was like, okay, so what would you have as a side dish to your risotto? Well, okay, pumpkin or garlic bread would kind of make sense at an Italian place. But I wanted to stick with a pumpkin theme, so because of that, I tried to find a recipe that would be like pumpkin garlic bread. Doesn't really seem like that's much of a thing because, surprise, surprise, pumpkin and garlic don't really, I mean, they might be able to go well together, but anyways, I didn't really find any recipe that kind of described what I was looking for, so ultimately I decided to compromise a little bit and just make pumpkin butter and then spread that over toasted bread and call that pumpkin garlic bread, even though there's no garlic in there. It's gonna be toasted bread that takes the, I don't know, spiritual place of garlic bread. What's up, Rogue BBR? Lagavulin, yes sir, enjoying some Offerman edition, the 2024 edition, and I gotta say, it's pretty tasty. Is it as good as the OG, whatchamacallit version? The OG, shit. The one aged in Guinness casks. No, it's not. Guinness cask one is still the GOAT, but in fairness, that one was always going to be difficult to beat, so with that being said, it is still quite tasty. All right. These chunks of bread, I guess, are fine. So, originally I was kind of wondering to myself how I was going to toast these. I've got two options. I could either directly hold them over the flame, or I guess I could toast them like over the, using that skillet there, or not the skillet, but the saucepan. Ooh, I could pour some olive oil in there too. Yeah, I'm gonna use the saucepan. That'll work. All right. Haven't opened yours yet. Still have 1 dram left for the Guinness cask. I'm so jealous, man. This one's good though, for what it's worth. It's not as good as the Guinness cask, but it's still really good. I like it better than last year's. I'll definitely say that. What's up, Inaji? I first saw your comment. I was like, wait, what, sir? You said this cooking stream? Yeah, this is definitely, oh, getting a little warm. Oh, yeah, it turns out I turned on the heat. I made the heat kind of high to compensate for... all right, let's not burn this now. Yeah, it got a little dark there. Okay, I'd call this appropriately heated up at this point. Right? No, I just have the heat way too high. I gotta make sure to stir this. Anyways, so your comment started with, this stream is really bad. And I saw that, I was like, bro, you hate watching? And then he follows up with, you're finding yourself at 11 p.m. cooking risotto because that made you hungry. Fuck your diet, I guess. Sorry, dude. Hey, this food is, it's good for you. But to quote SpongeBob, it's good for your soul. Diet's overrated. Embrace the fatness. But yeah, I'm not under any delusion that what I'm making today is good for you. Definitely a lot of butter and cheese and fatty sausage and oil and all sorts of things that taste good and are good for your soul. And that's kind of stops at that. Okay. I'd call that heated up enough at this point. And let's cook up, or let's toast up the bread. So let this pan heat up a bit, and then we're going to toss some oil in there, toss the bread in there, toast her up a bit. Shouldn't take long, because that's, this is pretty ripping hot at this point. People eat so much hidden sugar slash butter anyways. Yeah, exactly. You were never going to eat healthy in the first place anyways. No point in trying to kid yourself and thinking you were trying to be healthy. Come on, we all know that wasn't going to happen anyways. Ugh. I made you hungry, so you made a PB&J. Hey, you know what? Nothing wrong with a PB&J. That's a basic classic, dude. Nothing wrong with that at all. Just had your Canadian Thanksgiving. You ate 5 different desserts. Back on the healthy foods now? Nah, fuck that. Like, Thanksgiving's like the kickoff to unhealthy food season. If you eat healthy after Thanksgiving, then what? You're just choosing to ignore the existence of Christmas? New Year's? Hello? Nah, you're just kicking off the fat season, baby. Like, Thanksgiving's like the opening ceremonies of fatness, as far as the holiday season's concerned. And you, as a Canadian, you even get an extra month to do it, too. Must be nice. All right, some sizzling oil in there. All right, got the little hunk of bread in there. This pot is not really supposed to be for toasting things, but it should get the job done. Chicken and sausage gumbo time. I've made gumbo before on stream. Yeah, it was with chicken, sausage, and shrimp, actually. That was actually one of my all-time favorites. I did a Cajun cooking stream where I did... Was it gumbo or was it... Okay, it wasn't gumbo. It was jambalaya, so not quite the same. But I made jambalaya. That was delicious. Also made gator bites. There's a local store in town, DNR Market, that sells slabs of gator meat. So I was like, all right, any excuse to buy gator meat, I was going to take it. So for what it's worth, also tasty. Little fried gator bites. Gumbo I've never made. It's obviously similar to jambalaya, but more, I guess, soupy, right? But I mean, I know it's delicious, obviously. It's gumbo, right? How bad could it be? All right, flip that bad boy. Is it ready? Not yet. Getting there. Yeah, I added way too much oil to this, by the way, so this piece of bread is just soaked in olive oil, but... Oh, well. It's not supposed to be healthy. The Easter cooking stream was traumatizing. Yeah, that one's kind of lost time at this point. The Easter cooking stream. That was an interesting one. You know, that one overall, if I'll be honest, like, we've had some cooking streams in the past that have been absolute bangers, and we've also had some absolute duds. That one had some weird, interesting moments, but overall, that one, I'm not super upset that that one's kind of lost to time at this point. That one had some interesting moments for sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. All right, I know you can't really see it, but here, I'll show you real quick what we're working with. Oh, come on. Wait. Come on. Oh, that's hot, but... Okay, let's toast the other side real quick. The rabbit, yeah. I mean, look. It was fun to just, like, go ham on a rabbit, like, carcass. Well, not carcass sounds weird, but, like, it was fun to go ham on a rabbit that I had no idea what to do with, but... Looking back on it, I should have chosen a dish that would have been tastier, because I just chose, like, this weird rabbit potato hash mix, and it was just, like... I couldn't even finish that. It ended up being just kind of underwhelming and kind of nasty. All right, Easter stream 2025. Maybe if I think of a fun idea for it. Really hot. Deep fried bread. I mean, I was trying to get the bread nice and toasted and crispy, right? I'm trying to get it garlic bread consistency, so that way we can slather the pumpkin butter over there and call that our garlic bread. The Doritos and Hot Pocket stream was good too, doing your own quote-quote Hot Pocket since then. Yeah, I would love to do like another shot at that, because like the Doritos and Hot Pockets we made were like good, but they weren't dead ringers for the real thing. And I would love to try like again to see if I can make like a more like just spot on Hot Pockets and Doritos, like something that'd be closer to like indistinguishable from the real thing. You're from down south, love you some gator and some gumbo. Your first fall here, so when the temp went down, you got you a pot. Dude, the temperature hasn't even gone down yet. Like if you think it's gotten like to fall weather yet, then you just wait. I mean, like I say that in a kind of like a unfortunate way. This fall has been annoyingly warm, like to the point where it's not even, we haven't even really had real fall weather yet. Like I know it got cold for like a couple of days, but at this point of the year, it's supposed to be probably in like the high 50s or maybe the low 60s every day, and not this weird like 80-degree weather that we have right now. So you just wait. I mean, at least in my eyes, it's going to get even better than this. But right now, at least, we're still in this weird late summer type of feel. Only 70 in October. Let's fucking go in Indiana. I'm in Indiana. It's not 70 right now. It was 81 today. It got up into the 80s. Like, what is going on? And it's supposed to be fairly warm for the next week. Like even through the end of the month, it's still supposed to be in like the mid 70s. It's sign of the times, I guess. But this is supposed to be like the prime comfy weather of the year. I'm just worried we're gonna skip the fall weather and just go straight to winter and not get any of like the cozy sweater weather. 81 in Orange County as well. Yeah, I believe that. I mean, like this is, usually it's still a little warm in Orange County, but it's like at least approaching the nice time of year. I'm jealous that like Indiana is we're supposed to be quote quote nice like a couple of months in advance, and yet here we are still experiencing late summer, like I said. You'd so tune in for like a different holiday celebration cooking streams like Ramadan, Kwanzaa. Does Kwanzaa cooking, do Kwanzaa dishes exist? Is that a thing? What do you make for Ramadan? Isn't the entire point of Ramadan that you don't eat? It's like, all right, we're doing a Ramadan cooking stream. Here's what we're eating today. It's just like an empty table. All right, that was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. On your server, it's currently 84 samosas. Ooh, that would be nice, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure maybe they do cook some specific stuff for Ramadan. I'm just not sure what it is. Kebab, yeah. Kebab is hard because you need like kind of a specific, well, not specific, but you need a kind of a somewhat specialized cooking apparatus for something like that, right? I'm sure there's ghetto ways to do it, but kebab has always intimidated me a little bit, admittedly. All right, almost done with our bread here, and then I think we're good to serve. Cool. Ooh, I do want to shred a tiny bit more Parmesan though, for the so we can like kind of top the risotto with that. That'd be good. Tiny bit more Scotch. I shouldn't drink too much more, but maybe just a smidge. There we go. Yeah. Bruce is currently living in the mid-50s where you're at. You had a truckload of rain over the weekend. God, it hasn't rained where I'm at in forever. That sounds nice, man. I'm jealous. It's just been like not fall at all here. Yeah, it's just been like late summer this entire season. Yeah, that sounds nice. I'm hoping we get there. Hopefully soon. Okay. There we go. All right. I think we're good to officially turn off the heat. I think we're done. We done? I think we're done. All right, sick. All right, let's, I guess, plate things up and enjoy. Now, do have the risotto sitting over here. Put that on there for now. Okay, I did want to shred some more Parmesan. I guess that's the last thing we need to do. Oh, careful, SpongeBob. All right. Sorry, gonna try to clear up this table a little bit so it's like kind of somewhat prepped for actual eating. As always, at the end of these cooking streams, my entire workspace here is a disaster. Wouldn't be any fun if it was still clean. Oh wait, why am I putting the Parmesan today? Or putting the Parmesan away? I literally said I was gonna. Yeah, okay. Alright. Alright, get all the elements together here. That one here. That one there. Alright, chat, let's give you a nice view. Back to the comfy zoomed out fall view right here. There we go. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Comfy. You got Joel in the background as well. Cool. All right. Oh. All right. So let me just grate a tiny bit more of this, and we'll just top the risotto with it. Don't need too much, but definitely don't want to skimp on your Parmesan as well, obviously. That'll work. Okay. All right, let me get out one of these plates that hopefully just hasn't been used yet. I think we've got one more that is still a untainted plate. There we go. All right. So, first things first, let me stay. Let's slather our toasted bread here with the pumpkin butter to replicate what's supposed to be garlic butter, right? Just for me, I don't really have like a butter knife with me, so I guess we'll just use a spoon. Call that good enough? Let's replicate the sounds to avoid the scam allegations. What sounds? What? All right, put that on there. Yeah, safe to say I might have made a little too much pumpkin butter, I guess. Turns out I didn't need this much to cover 2 very tiny slices of bread. That's okay, though. In theory, I can use this pumpkin butter for just general consumption over the course of the next couple of weeks, right? I don't know what I'll use so much pumpkin butter for. Maybe I'll give some to my friends or something. Could like fill a mason jar with this, give it to someone, right? Sure. All right, there we go. Got our slices of pumpkin butter. I almost feel like I need a separate plate for the risotto, actually. Let me just put this in here. Spoonful straight into the mouth. Yeah, just eat it directly out of the pot. I mean, that is tempting. I certainly could. I'm sure the experience would be completely fine. No. Let's make sure we do this right. Okay. Oh, careful, SpongeBob. Somehow I got like a little something in there in my Glencairn. Weird. All right. Ready for this? Oh, baby. Guess we, at some point, needed to take the sprigs of thyme out of there. Worry about that later. Now, I don't know what exactly the consistency of risotto is supposed to be like. This seems like it's pretty good, though. I mean, for what it's worth, it seems very thick and creamy and... I don't know. Risotto-y as far as what I saw from the pictures. I don't know. Did I nail it? I have absolutely no idea. I will admit, it's not like the most aesthetic dish ever. There's nothing particularly impressive about like what looks like essentially rice slop, but I suppose what really matters in the end is how this tastes, right? Yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't call this fancy pumpkin cooking. That was my original idea, but now that I see this, I'm like, well, I'm not sure how fancy this looks, but it looks tasty. And that is the ultimate goal, right? All right, there we go. Okay. Let me give you guys the money shot real quick. Oh. All right, the money shot. There it is. We got the quote pumpkin garlic bread. We got the brownish, yellowish risotto slop. Now, once again, yeah, not very aesthetic, but the real question, of course, and really the only thing that matters at the end of the day is how does it taste? Come on. Having to deal with uneven ground, always fun. God damn it, come on. Okay. Call that fine. All right. Oy. Oh, that was a lot of work, chat. That was a lot of work. Mostly, really, before the stream, not even during the stream, but even during the stream, it was a lot of work. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Could use more rocks. Yeah, a little bit more rock. A little bit more dirt in there to add to the texture a bit. Looks like peanut butter. Yeah, a little bit. It's not the consistency of peanut butter. It's less sticky than peanut butter. 4 hours for toast and mushy rice, bro. It's not rocket. I'm amazed it's only now. This is the time. Oh my. Sorry. Can't be eating risotto on a stuffed nose like that. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, I understand. Like maybe it's not the most aesthetic dish ever, but let's see how it tastes. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Take another taste of this. Take apart with a bit more cheese on top. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, you're saying risotto is delicious. It's like a creamy pasta. I didn't totally know what to expect because I haven't had risotto before, but that is an exactly correct description. It is like a super creamy, super savory pasta. It's almost like the rice is not even acting like rice. It's more like acting like little tiny noodle balls. Oh, that was really good. Ooh. The cheese makes it nice and like thick and creamy. The rice kind of adds like the same sort of texture that like noodles would add or pasta would add to like a creamy pasta dish. The mushrooms are doing their thing. Like if you don't like mushrooms, I guess you wouldn't be down for this, but like as a mushroom enjoyer, really tasty. And of course the sausage adds a nice like meaty, hearty flavor to it. It's pretty good. Now, I will say this. I would be curious to see how this would have been with sweet sausage instead of spicy sausage, because I think if I had to say the only thing that this dish is missing is maybe a bit of like something, like it could use a tiny bit of sweetness to balance it out a little bit. It's perfect on the saltiness level. It's perfect on like the savoriness level. It's perfect on the creaminess and the kind of thickness level. There's not a whole lot of sweetness in there though. And it could have maybe used a tiny bit just to balance it out a little bit. But at the end of the day, that's nitpicking. That's still really good. Ooh. Or yellow onion. Settle down, settle down. I mean, it's just now you just get to watch me. Now you just get to watch me eat dinner. Like, have fun, chat. Let's put it this way: if I got this served to me at an Italian restaurant, I'd be a happy camper. Sweet instead of spicy sausage, yeah, like the Italian sweet sausage. They usually come in two different types, right? Like when it comes to Italian sausage, usually spicy and sweet. I use the spicy. Not bad. It's not bad, but I would be curious to see if what the sweet would taste like in comparison, for sure. But yeah, you're right. The pumpkin bread, you're right. That's going to be sweet. Maybe that'll be a nice little interim thing, let's say. Yeah. Yeah, one thing about, when I bite into this, I'm just like, the pumpkin isn't really super apparent in this. I'll say that. It's not like it's needed, but if you didn't tell me this had pumpkin in it, I wouldn't know it. I would never guess it. Let me taste this one more time. I almost wonder, like, if I added, It's like pumpkin by itself, by default, is not sweet. It only gets sweet if you add a bunch of sugar to it. I know this is probably haram to suggest, but like, would it be a bad idea or like a unacceptable idea to just add like a little sugar to the pumpkin puree before you mix it in? I have tons of pumpkin butter left. Try to mix it in. Nah, I wouldn't want to mix those two things separately at this point. But the pumpkin butter is definitely a great illustration of the kind of the sweet potential of pumpkin. This is more the savory potential. Now, they go really well together. I didn't necessarily plan for this to be like they complement each other sort of thing, but I will say the pumpkin butter sweetness complements the savoriness of the risotto very nicely. Brown sugar. Yeah, maybe. It wouldn't need much. You just need like maybe a small hint of it. Tiny, tiny hint. Yeah, just an ultra tiny hint. Because, oh, it is good though. Oh, it is good. But yeah. Literally just maybe like maybe just like a tablespoon of brown sugar to the pumpkin in advance. That's probably all you need. I think I'm looking for acid, not sweetness. You'd cut the richest better. No, the acid's fine. I think that portion, I mean, I'm no chef, I'm no expert on this, but I think acid-wise it's doing fine. I think if anything, the wine that you added to deglaze it kind of added that aspect. So that part's doing fine. I think it's just I know what the acid aspect of the dish is, and that's working fine. It's just a tiny hint of sweetness. That's all it needs. And I'm like, keep in mind, I'm nitpicking, by the way. I'm not trying to say that like it ruins the dish. Like I'm just trying to like think of anything that'd make it even better. But that being said, I'm gonna devour all of this. I guarantee you. Drop actual acid in the dish. Oh my. Well, Chad, I'd call this a success. I didn't really know what to expect when I finished the risotto because, like, number one, I'd never had it before, so I didn't really know what it was supposed to be like. And number two, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to cook it properly. But, like, Chad, did I do it? Did we do it? DG watching from the bushes, stomach growling. It's mine. You can't have it. He's got his own bugs to eat, all right? He's already set for the night. Oh, baby. All right, one more bite and we can maybe wrap things up. Need a close-up? I mean, I kind of already gave you one, but I can give you the ghetto. I've almost finished eating it close-up, but it's going to be a bit underwhelming now since there's not much left. Okay. Yeah, I'll be honest. Risotto not particularly aesthetic as far as a cooking dish is concerned, or like as far as like what it looks like for food porn. But does it need to be? Also, look at this just comfy full aesthetic, man. Hopefully this 360 doesn't kill the stream again like it did last time. But like, that's a comfy fall vibe if I've ever seen one. 3 out of 10 on visuals. That's fair. I'll give you that. But at the end of the taste, or at the end of the day, the taste is what really matters, right? All right. I'm going to finish spooning this last little piece of bread into my mouth, last little risotto, and then maybe we'll tour that way real quick just to see if there's any amazing, comfy fall colors like we were told. Need to get me a GoPro for POV stream angle. I got like the chest mount that I would normally use for the more like walking around IRL streams. Where'd my spoon go? There you are. Now I do wonder, what I was thinking earlier was potentially if I was going to try to make this dish for other people. If I was going to make it for my family, my sister's a vegetarian, which means that I wouldn't be able to add the sausage to this. I wonder how this would be without the sausage.
feel like the answer's pretty good, but it feels like it'd be missing something. I'll have to brainstorm that a little further. Butternut squash could be nice. Yeah, I mean, I agree that, like, butternut squash, you're right, has like a similar consistency to pumpkin, and that tends to be a little bit sweeter, right? So, yeah, maybe that, if you sub that in instead, I do wonder how that'd be in comparison. I think sausage is too strong for risotto. I'm not, I mean, I guess maybe I just don't have a good point of reference, but I don't think the sausage is overpowering it, if that's what you're implying. I mean, yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe I've not tasted a more, I don't know, subtle, refined risotto, whatever you want to call it. But not to be that guy, but tofu clumps would give that sausage look / feel. Ugh, I'm just not a fan of tofu, man. It's just like eating like spongy goop. Ugh. In my opinion, is the taste worth the prep / cook time? I would say, like, okay, outdoors like this with, like, you know, the limited resources I have available, probably not. But in an actual kitchen where, number one, you could have multiple burners running at the same time on a stove, and number two, you would have access to all the rest of the amenities of a regular kitchen, I think it'd be pretty reasonable. Like, the prep is easy. The prep is really fast. You only have to chop onions, a shallot, and garlic. That's it. That's all you have to prep. And after that, you just throw stuff in the pot and just, like, you just have to constantly stir it and, like, pour more liquid into it. But it's not hard. At least it wasn't for me. I don't know. So, yeah, let's put it this way. Like, for a group of people, I would absolutely make this. I would make this, like, to serve to a group. 100%. Or, in my case, I will 100% take this home and have this as my dinner for the next, like, 5 days. Easy. Tofu takes time to make it taste good. Yeah, ideally just long enough to throw it away into the trash and replace it with, like, a real protein instead. That's usually about how long it takes. Take a nice broad and wine and dine her, then show her that 99. Remind me to never take dating advice from chat. Thank you. All right. Last bite, and then we'll take maybe a comfy fall colors tour, maybe that way, and then wrap things up. That pumpkin butter turned out nice. It goes really well just on toasted bread. It definitely does a good job complementing the risotto. Good stuff. Tell her I survived 4 raids with buffs. Yeah, that's enough of an accomplishment on its own to earn at least a second day, right? Yeah. Hey, babe, the curse is reversed. Hey, babe, want to see that 54 minutes I have left on DMF? Impressive, right? All right. We've been told by our local bug expert that there are some interesting fall colors in this general direction. Since the stream is pretty much over anyways, shall we, number 1, see if there's cool fall colors, number 2, see if the stream even works in this direction? Might as well check it out, right? Yeah, the local NPC, precisely. I can see, like, kind of like what he's talking about already ahead of us, but let me see how much farther I can walk down the way. I'm not honestly interested in walking in the water because I don't really want to get my shoes wet, but let's see just how far down we can go this way. Bit rate's on its last leg, yeah. I don't know why the connection here has been a little spotty. The last time I was here, it was like pristine the whole time. It was weird. All right, this is about as far as we can go. But I mean, that's kind of aesthetic. I'm not gonna lie. Got that nice little soundtrack to go with it as well. Right? Okay, I admit that, yeah, bitrate's kind of taking a shit right here. Sorry. Can you at least sort of see this, what I'm looking at right now, I hope? Maybe not, I don't know. Oh well, I tried. Yeah, at the end of the day, like, the further I walk in that direction, the further I get from civilization, I guess. IRL water painting. Yeah, sorry. Tried my best. Tried my best. You can kind of get the idea from what I'm looking at right here, too, right? Like a Bob Ross painting. Yeah, it's too bad. I wish you could just see it like what I'm seeing right now. It's absolutely beautiful, dude. Super aesthetic. Nice and... just got those fall vibes. Oh, well. What can you do? Just need weather to match. Yeah, no kidding, man. Just need, just need the comfy fall chill to arrive and we're set to go. Alrighty. Oh, let's finish her off, shall we? I think, that's enough being outdoors for the rest of the month. I'm ready to just sit inside and play video games for the next, like, 30 days straight. Alright. Oh, baby. Oy, 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 oy. Oh. I'm tired, man. That was a lot of a lot of pre-stream. Just head on fire, running around, trying to make things work sort of situation, but I'm at least glad the end result was good. Alright. So, cool. Pumpkin risotto. If I had to rate it, scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 8 out of 10. Could it be improved a little bit? Yes. How exactly to do it? Not totally sure. Maybe Lido's suggestion of brown sugar. Maybe using butternut squash instead of pumpkin. Something like that. But overall, very tasty. Very tasty. The pumpkin butter, simple, nothing fancy, but like tasty, right? Like spread it over some toasted bread. Be a good breakfast, if anything. So no complaints there. And then the Scotch. I would call the OG Offerman edition, the one aged in Guinness casks, I would call that one like a 9.5 or like a 9.8 out of 10. That was close to perfection. This one I would call, and I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Very tasty. Definitely better than last year's edition. Not as good as the OG Guinness cask edition, but something that I'll definitely sip on over the course of the next like month or two and enjoy during comfy story game sessions or whatever. Sweeter wine would help as well. I mean, if I have to. Yeah. Oh, I get you're saying, like deglaze the pot with sweeter wine. Yeah, I mean, the recipe called for dry wine, right? But maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you just add like a, whatever, yeah, sweeter white wine. I don't know what that would be, but whatever. Yeah, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, kids, we'll call it a stream right there. That was fun. That was enjoyable. I'm glad. I was a little initially worried at the start of the stream that like the connection was going to shit the bed and that it was going to be a whole disconnection fiesta. So I'm glad it ended up not being that because that's always stressful when it's like that. So, let's see. What's today? Today is Monday. So back tomorrow just for a regular stream, regular weekday stream starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 1700 Central European Time. What are we doing tomorrow? We're doing a world tour on the one of the Human Warriors. I'm not going to do both. I'm just going to do one. So like all Human Warrior world tour. That'll be a thing. Wednesday stream will be the Fun Police AQ40. I'll probably do that on Hilla, question mark? And then Thursday through Monday, I will actually not be streaming. I will be going on like a little mini vacation back to California. I'm going to go see a David Gilmour concert. Live my bucket list. Check off a little bucket list thing of not seeing Pink Floyd in concert since Pink Floyd's not really a thing anymore, but the next closest thing, which is David Gilmour. Works for me. And then I'll come back for stream next Tuesday, and that'll be the 5 Saunders Please raid on the Human Warrior with the DMF we still have left. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, tomorrow I guess will be with, at least the AQ will be with DMF. I still have a little bit left on my ult, so that's cool. Guys can do !Discord in the chat if you feel like joining my Discord. It's a place where I post stream news, stream announcements. Anytime I go live, I'll make sure to ping you guys. Place where you can ask me something like, when's the next cooking stream? I think I can probably say the next one will be probably for Thanksgiving. I think All right, I'll reward viewers who are actually watching right now. We're probably going to do booze giving part 2. That's kind of what I want to do again. We want to make more boozy Thanksgiving dishes. It was fun last year. Surely we can think of more booze that we can incorporate into Thanksgiving stuff, right? If you guys have any fun ideas, by the way, of like boozy Thanksgiving dishes, I'm all ears. But until then, appreciate you guys hanging out. Appreciate you guys keeping chat lively as always. Hopefully you enjoyed the comfy fall aesthetic. I certainly did. I would say hopefully you enjoyed the risotto, but you didn't, but I did. So, you know, you should have to make it for yourself. Ask me for the recipe tomorrow if you want it. And I will catch you guys tomorrow for regular-ass video game streams, I guess. All right, now the awkward part where I get up and turn the camera off. All right, later, guys. Bye.